Let's see. Here we go. Okay, now we're live. So hit it, Tim. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 24 of Three Sheets to the Mouse. We're five average guys with a love for all things Disney. And joining me on this week's show are three guys who have spent too much time in Captain Nemo's submarine. Tim.
Good day.
Adam.
What's up?
Mikey.
If you want the freshest cloaca, you've got to go to the source.
This is good advice. Jason is still out on vacation. We're
going with it, man. We're going with it. We're owning it.
Make it stop.
Jason is either still out on vacation or he is storming the red keep. Can't really tell.
Can we get Ed Stark in here to cut this off at the neck, please?
Make the music stop. It's loud.
Okay. We are hilt deep in some copyright infringement right now.
We are. We might be.
It's all right. HBO doesn't listen.
That's true. They don't listen. Only Disney listens. So as long as we don't copyright Disney stuff, then we're fine. Jason is still on vacation.
We're talking over it, so there's a rule on that too for some reason. So
yeah. And while we're missing his lovely drink choices, we assure you he will be back next week with a flurry of flowery, sweet, and beautiful cocktails. Something pink, probably. But we're here to talk to you about Disney parks, Disney booze, and a little bit of debauchery in between. So sit back, relax, grab a vodka tonic, and enjoy the adult side of Disney with Three Sheets to the Mouse. So we're gonna start this live episode again off with a little twist. Tim, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking 9-year Knob Creek in these fun glasses that Adam got me for my birthday. They call them, I think they were called swirl glasses from Brookstone. They've got a cone in the bottom, and you can't see it. And they come with these round ice cube molds, and it's supposed to keep the ice cube sitting on top of the bourbon, so it doesn't get in the bourbon and dilute it. It works pretty good. I normally don't like ice in my whiskey, but figured I'd try it out.
It looks like a reservoir tip on a condom.
A little bit.
That's pretty much what it looks like. Yeah.
Fresh. Adam, what are you drinking tonight?
I got some Bullet bourbon.
Bullet. You know what? Bullet often gets overlooked. They use it in a lot of like mixed cocktails.
It's decent.
It's a pretty good. I mean, I like their rye. Their rye's really good.
I don't know. It's okay. I mean,
yeah, I cook with it. I bake with it.
It's a better mixer than a straight bourbon, I think.
It's always good. We had some really nice cocktails this weekend at the speakeasy we went to. I had a smoked old fashioned, which instead of using wild turkey, it's kind of like a smoked turkey that Uncle Tim was posting about on the Facebook group. But instead of using wild turkey, they used Elijah Craig, and it was really good.
You like that Elijah Craig?
You know what? I really do. In fact, when I went to the liquor store this weekend, I thought about picking up another bottle of it because Tim and I drank through it in one sitting.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It was really good. But I went with the Filibuster 12, I think. Yeah, Filibuster 12. That was really good. I like that one. So, Mikey, what are you drinking?
I've got Tallgrass Brewing Top Rope IPA.
Nice.
Which, out of Manhattan, Kansas. Brother-in-law and I went to some beer distributor while we were out of town this past weekend, and we walked in, and it was just a mecca of microbrews. And we've got, a store here locally that does a lot of microbrews, but they're all for pick six. We walked up in this, and it was just shelves of 6-packs, and I went in there, to be perfectly honest, to get the Hanalei. since I can't get it here low.
Right.
We can get it while we're here. But then I walked in there, and it was a complete sensory overload. So I know I walked out with not Hanalei, and I caught hell from Stephanie because she, thought maybe I got distracted and freaked out and got paranoid. But I was like, no, I made this conscious decision, and I won't regret it. I promise.
Do you regret it now?
No, it was a variety pack, and one of them was called Raspberry Jam, and it is so good.
Really? Who makes?
I had a raspberry. It's Tallgrass.
Tallgrass.
I had one at. I had a raspberry beer or a raspberry IPA or whatever the hell it was at that craft beer fest I went to a couple months back, and it sucked balls. This is so good. It doesn't. I mean, you can still taste the beer and the raspberry. I would compare it to Hanalei, where Hanalei you can still taste those citrus juices, but they don't overpower the beer. The beer doesn't overpower the fruit. This is the same way. It doesn't have that fight. Everything blends together really well.
That's good. I mean,
and this just tastes like any other IPA I've ever had.
I think that's what I like about the Hanalei is you get the fruitiness of it, but it's not overpowering. Like I had, the one I can really recall is the Salty Dog Brewing Company out of Orlando, and they make a blueberry ale. It was super blueberry. It was like, I don't know if anyone's had the Red Bull Blue.
No, I don't drink Red Bull.
Blue?
We're not kids. We don't drink Red Bull.
Yeah, I don't. I just drink coffee when I need my caffeine.
I mean, Scott's probably got a flat bill monster hat and a 3-foot lanyard hat in his pocket while he's scoping out the playground.
Drinking his Red Bull and vodka.
Wearing his ped-free shirt.
PED, performance enhancing drugs.
Sure, pedo free. We get it.
PED free. That's all muscle. It's all natural, baby. No, they make this blueberry Red Bull, and it's super blueberry, and that's what the Salty Dog beer reminded me of. It was really, really fruity. It did not like it at all.
Budweiser has that blueberry beer, that Wild Blue, and it's really blueberry flavored as well.
I don't like a little too much blueberry flavored.
It's also 8%.
Yeah, it gets you nice and drunk, but it's too sweet.
Yeah, it really is. Like
that's odd too for a fruity beer like that. Usually those fruity beers are low alcohol content
and all malt.
Yeah, it just.
Epcot has one called the Founders Raspberry IPA.
Isn't that what Scott? You and I had that, didn't we?
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
I enjoyed that.
No, it wasn't bad. It was pretty good actually.
It was a good summer beer. It was more like a shandy, though, in my opinion, than a true IPA. It was a little more on the sweet side, but it wasn't overly sweet, if that makes sense. It was more like a shandy.
Yeah, it wasn't as sweet as that. What was the one? What was the one that we had over by Figment? The Sunkissed or Sunburst IPA.
I didn't have it.
Oh, Tim.
You all got that. I didn't get it.
Tim and I got that. That one was like. That one had a really sweet hoppy taste to it. I'm not sure what was in that, if it was citrus, but it was a little bit sweeter than the raspberry IPA. Which that Founder's raspberry was really good. I like the Founder stuff.
And you can get that over by the Inside Out attraction.
That's not happening.
Uncle Tim says hello from Hollywood Studios.
Oh, what's up, Uncle Tim? I don't think he's listening to us if he's in Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
I hope not anyway.
He'll catch the podcast when it gets uploaded at him.
Yeah, he'll catch the replay. He said.
But so, speaking of Inside Out, something...
Now, you said we're doing this with a twist. I want to cut you off, because I'm waiting what the hell the twist is, because we always start with, what are you drinking?
Yeah, I'm waiting for the twist for the startup. I don't think unless somebody's going to tweak their nipples, we haven't done anything twisty yet.
Let me tweak my...
No, everybody's looking at me. Everybody's
No, I was actually just being sarcastic.
Oh. Does not look good on you.
No.
Didn't work too well.
Doesn't translate very well.
I'm the serious one. But
Who doesn't know who Andrew Dice Clay is?
No, I don't. And why? Look,
we're not going to have this conversation again.
If he's ranked as one of the 15 worst comedians of all time, why should I know who he is?
Hang on. Let's back that truck up. It didn't say
fair.
of all time.
Well, then
It was like for 20 whatever year that was, that decade or whatever. And let's be honest, there's been some real shit stand-up comics came out in the last 20 years.
Oh, absolutely.
And let's be truth with that. These are 15 famous comics. When you think about it, there's plenty of comics who, just like a singer, they're a dime a dozen. There are people that you don't know of that I'm sure are plenty worse.
Yep.
Well, to me, he just I had no idea who he was. When he was popular, I was like 5.
I tell you what, if we could get published in a magazine as one of the 15 worst podcasts, I would say we've made it.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm 15 out of a sea of thousands.
All publicity is good publicity.
Yeah.
But much like him, I'd want to be 14th. That way we can still snub our nose at that asshole that we beat out. Looking at you, Lou.
Ooh, shots fired.
Nobody wants to ask me what I'm drinking?
Scott, what are you drinking?
Oh, Tim, I'm glad you asked. I have a nice glass that was made by CMAG. I'm not sure
doing
you can
this.
see it.
I was
Again,
waiting to
breaking the
use
rules.
those. That was
Yeah, Mike already.
I broke the rule.
Mike
but,
already
but
fucked that up.
But I was going to use mine tonight, but I'm like, nope, we got to wait for everybody to be
Wait for
together.
Jason.
Oh, I see how it is, Scott.
Mikey was the first asshole. I'll be the second asshole.
Yeah, but you're doing it on live TV
That's
or
true.
live YouTube.
And but I have in that glass, that awesome glass. So thanks, CMAG. Some 10-year-old Henry McKenna. This stuff, I kid you not.
And you
is
said you were
gold.
Ed free. Here you're down in 10-year-olds.
10-year-old Henry.
Wow.
Not pedo. Oh God, the sports references are lost.
No, it's just much more fun to pick on you this way.
Didn't Sammy Sosa play for the Cardinals?
No, he played for the Cubs and the Rangers and the White Sox.
Didn't Mark McGwire play for the Cardinals?
Yes, he did. Yes, he
Okay, there's my joke with your hat and your shirt. I don't think he could wear that shirt.
did. No, he could not. Absolutely not. Oh.
Speaking of Sammy Sosa, did you guys see the pictures that surfaced of him this weekend?
The best.
He's like a fucking strawberry.
The best was the Neapolitan ice cream. It had 3 pictures of Sammy Sosa in a row, and first was him with dark skin, then it was him with the light skin, and then it was him with the pink skin.
Pink skin.
Oh man, I feel bad for him. I don't know what he was putting on his skin. He said it was some softening cream, because I watched the interview and it was.
People were saying it was skin bleaching cream.
It was skin bleaching. He was bleaching his skin to make himself look lighter. Yeah. And you know what? Sun-in doesn't work all the time. It turns your hair orange, not blonde.
Why, yes, I am keeping my beer cool, gentlemen. Thanks for asking.
Hey, Mikey, are you keeping your beer cold?
Just long enough to finish it.
Perfect. That is exactly what those are used for.
Hey, if I didn't drive for a living, I'd bring my flask to work. But I drive for a living, so there'd be none of that.
We're pretty famous. Look at this. We really want to thank CMAG or James for
Namdug. If you're going to say CMAG, you got to end with Namdug.
Yep, say the full name.
CMAG Goodman, James Namdug.
It's like a Tribe Called Quest. You got to say the whole thing.
We really want to thank him. He did a fantastic job with these. When I had asked him to do the glasses, I had no idea that we were in for probably the coolest Scotch glass that I will ever own. Absolutely, bar none, will ever own.
You're saying that because your name's on it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, naturally. I mean, it's pretty awesome. But
I mean, Tim's got a reservoir tip, and here you're going on about it's got my name on it.
It's got my name on it.
The pen.
I wish that we would record Jason's reaction when we gave him his box of stuff on Friday.
The glass has his name on it.
He had to open up everything, and his look on his face was priceless.
Did he cry? Did he cry?
No, he didn't cry.
Did he well up a little bit of tear?
He was speechless. He was awed.
Well, yeah, he was with the fellatio. I'm sure he couldn't say anything.
There was none of
The
that.
sad part is, all of that could happen. I blacked out. I got so drunk.
Oh yeah, Adam was so drunk he passed.
Oh yeah, no, you were.
Adam was
If
literally
anyone
sideways.
missed-
Shit face.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
there's
if you
no
missed
word.
that photo,
I drank a whole lot of tequilas.
Oh man.
He was drinking jalapeno citrus margaritas.
Jalapeno orange margaritas. And
Uh,
I probably killed off a good half a bottle of tequila that night by
that
myself.
sounds more masculine than the margarita I had today.
What did you have?
It's called a Slim Rita. I read it as a Slimerita and thought, hey, yeah, give me this damn thing, a jalapeno Slimerita.
All right. So
And then when I ordered it, it says
No.
Slimerita. I said, has it got jalapenos in it? She goes, yeah. I said, bring it. And I felt like I was drinking jalapeno juice.
Did it have that skinny girl tequila in it?
that's exactly what I was going to ask.
I don't know. But you know what? I owned my inner Jason, and I drank it.
we
Well, now listen. When we were at the restaurant, me and Jason were drinking Cabernet, and then we switched to Stella because we both had to drive after dinner. So he was throwing him down with me.
when we went to the speakeasy last night, Andrea tells the bartender, she goes, can you make me a skinny margarita? He goes, no, I won't, but I'll make you one that's better and just as low calorie. And he did. It was a really good margarita. It was just a little bit of simple syrup, lime juice, I think he used mezcal tequila, which was a little smokier. So it was really good.
I don't understand how you can make a skinny margarita when it's sour mix and simple syrup.
No, well, lime juice, just the straight lime juice, not the simple syrup, or not the sweet and sour mix.
Oh, I like the sweet and sour mix.
Yeah, that's what's in the Hightower Rocks, and it's really good. I made some of those for my wife and her friend that came over last Thursday with the watermelon juice that I pressed. Those are so good; they go down so quick.
The pretend watermelon juice.
No, the real watermelon juice this time.
Isn't white watermelon this time? Whatever color it was.
It was a real. it was a regular, normal watermelon, not yellow. Because my God, I cut into that and I'm still thinking like, what the fuck is this?
GMOs, man. It's the GMOs.
So, while we were all getting drunk Saturday night, Justin Suter was keeping our Facebook group warm with all the day's announcements, because Saturday was a very, very, very big day for fans of Walt Disney World and the Disney parks worldwide. And for those of you living under a rock, Saturday was the D23 conference out in Anaheim, and there were some pretty big announcements, wouldn't you say?
I'm
man,
excited for most of them.
Fucking, they were just writing checks, spending money like nobody's business.
They need to.
They need to put money.
Time. It's time.
I mean,
Do you think do you think this is a knee-jerk reaction to Nintendo Land coming to Universal?
No, it's not a knee-jerk reaction at all. This is still a reaction to Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Harry Potter and Volcano Bay.
I think
it's not even Volcano Bay. This is still a reaction to Harry Potter. Tim saw the meme today.
It was a picture of Bob Iger, and it said Harry Potter Land, Volcano Bay. Mickey, hold my beer.
Yeah. No,
They're basically throwing down the gauntlet.
This is stuff that's been in the works for a long time. But we want to thank you. We actually have quite a few number of viewers that are watching us instead of Game of Thrones, so we appreciate that.
Yay! Hello,
if you're
people.
Here, right down below, right here, or here,
wherever it is on your screen. Some of you have it on the left.
Is the live chat. So don't be afraid to say hi. Trenton Nesbitt, Mrs. Nesbitt, is watching while he sends Mikey some nudes.
Shower nudes.
Yeah, shower beers.
Hey, I want to go on record. First person in our group to post a shower beer publicly in the group.
What's that channel again for those who need it?
HBO.
You killed
It's our YouTube channel.
Oh,
Well, they're not.
If you
For those who want, for those who want to watch it through it posts.
If you want to watch it through the YouTube, just go to you go to our Facebook group at facebook.com/group/3sheets, and you can see the link there at the on the page for our Facebook channel. You'll see us live streaming. We're here. Cartman291 says, "Hey, up here we have some Smash Blueberry Ale that is 9.5% alcohol. Holy
Damn.
crap!
Man, oh
what
man.
does it taste like? Is it
And
that
where is up there?
I think he's up in Maine, right? I believe Maine.
Be to the con. Drink your moxie.
If it's that overly sweet blueberry, though, I won't be able to finish it.
Songbird CC 2002 says, "Hey guys." Adam Austin says, "Pretty big, fucking amazing." Yes, we are. We are fucking amazing.
Fuck that guy.
And we are pretty big.
Yep.
Well, I'm hefty. Okay, where do we want to start with all this D23? Because I've just skimmed through it. I don't know entirely everything.
Well, let's briefly start.
Well, do you want to start? Do we want to do parks? Do we want to do movies?
Well, let's
Are we just doing parks?
No, we'll start with the movies because we'll talk a little bit about each of the ones that were announced. So,
well, I need to talk video game point. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, thanks. Absolutely. Disney Pixar had their conference on Saturday morning about the next 4 years or next 3 years of movies. First up, we've done Cars, we've done Planes.
I'm wearing my coveted Pixar T-shirt.
It's like a Russian nesting doll of Pixar characters.
It's awesome. Very rare shirt.
It's awesome. But we've done Cars, we've done Planes, and we're getting into space. So it looks like Disney Toon Studios, which did the Planes franchise, will be taking their altitude just a little bit higher and going into space. So space shuttles and satellites.
It needs to stop.
Yep. That's
I can't. After this, it'll be boats.
Yeah.
Submarines.
I mean, you have a good thing and you're beating a dead horse.
Yeah.
This should be a direct-to-video thing or a TV movie maybe, but I don't see the need this.
Yeah, I'm not sure how good this is going to be, but we'll see. The other two announcements, I guess, combined into one is Frozen's coming back to theaters. And one of those is a short that's going to feature before the November release of Coco, which is Olaf's Frozen Adventure. We actually saw the trailer for this today in Cars 3. You know what? It's fun. It's going to keep your kids occupied for 10 to 15 minutes.
It's like 20 minutes. 20 minutes, right?
Yeah, it's a 22-minute short.
That's a long short. I don't know if you can call it a short.
That's like a TV episode.
Yeah. How long is Coco?
Coco is I think the runtime is supposed to be just over an hour and a half.
All right, so I mean, then it fits because that's what I was trying to figure out. It's like Coco must be super short if they're going to throw a 20-minute short in front of it.
And we'll talk a little bit about Coco because they rolled some new footage, and I saw the trailer for this as well today, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But Olaf's Frozen Adventure will come out in November of 2017. And they have announced, and you okay there, Mikey?
Yeah, I don't know what's going
just
on.
went right past.
They did some more details on Frozen 2. Interesting. Frozen 2 has a new song, Frozen Adventure has a new song not written by the original Frozen songwriters.
One of the kids is shitting and they needed more toilet paper in the other bathroom. For those of you watching, I'm not recording in the garage because, it's hot, so I moved everything into my bedroom.
Arkansas in July.
Yeah.
You don't want to cook, Mikey.
If I'm in the bedroom and I take my pants off.
You know who was suspiciously absent from
Who's that?
Your boy.
Lin-Manuel
Miranda.
Yeah. Not a mention of him.
Look, I don't think he's not going to become who are the pair that write the Frozen stuff?
I don't remember their name. I know they're
Anderson and they're husband and wife, yeah.
Yeah.
Anderson.
But I don't remember the names.
I know one of them's name is Anderson, but those two have been doing a lot with other movies, not just Frozen. I don't think Lin-Manuel Miranda is going to be a, Howard Ashman, Tim Menken kind of thing, or Tim Rice kind of thing. I think it's going to be, he's going to come in here and there, do some things once in a while, but he's not going to be like, oh, well, we need someone to come write songs, so go bring LMM in.
I don't think they're bringing him back because he didn't have a hit song.
Yeah.
No, well, no, neither of them won. Neither of his big songs for that movie won any awards. But I thought the Moana song was really good. I enjoyed it. We love You're Welcome.
It's cute.
It's cute. It's catchy.
I don't hate it, but like I said, it's very time locked.
Yeah, I think his the soundtrack to, obviously you can't talk about his music and those songs and not compare them to Frozen. You can't.
Yeah,
okay.
Well,
Bobby Lopez and Kristen Anderson Lopez, they did a lot.
Yeah, it's you can't talk about Nemo. Kobe Bryant and not mention LeBron James.
Right.
So
Scott got your sports reference.
I got that.
Yeah,
no,
right.
Got that.
He would have preferred Michael Jordan.
No.
Either way.
No,
but I'm not bringing legends into this. Okay. What I'm saying is, Miranda's songs were good. I think the movie they were locked into didn't do them any favors, because you couldn't do a whole lot with that style of an animation for movie, because from the get-go it was supposed to be quirky, I think, because of the way Maui is made.
Yeah.
I feel the exact opposite. It didn't have, not one of those songs is timeless.
No, I get that.
Not one of them. And I don't get me wrong, I don't hate them.
Look, if Mikey wants a sports reference here, you've got Tim Howard.
You can't count them. You're talking. But you're talking true musical royalty at that point. I'm talking like Mikey said, the more recent stuff. Yeah. Like you're looking at like Phil Collins. You're looking at the Frozen couple. You can't compare anything that's been put out right now to Beauty and the Beast and the Little Mermaid. It's Absolutely. Just it's a totally different world.
Absolutely, and that's what Lin-Manuel Miranda is going to be. He's going to be a Phil Collins. Come in there, do one movie, and look.
Go back to Broadway.
Phil Collins.
But at the end of the day, they brought back Phil Collins because Phil Collins had a hit song off of those, and he didn't. He's done.
I don't know.
He's no Randy Newman.
No. Yeah, exactly. No. There's just he was the guy for this one show, and he has nothing else.
Yeah,
man. You're hurting his feelings.
I don't know if he's done forever. I just don't think they're not going to go.
Didn't they hook him for something else too recently?
They tapped him for the new.
He wrote part of the song for the final of Happily Ever After, because two of the people that sing that song are people from Hamilton.
And now he's gone away. That's.
I just think.
And I'm
not irons in the fire. He's busy. He's still doing stuff left and right.
I'm sure he is, but it's never going... If Disney is not mentioning you anymore, that's a bad sign.
Well, he'll come back for the Moana sequel. Moana 2. Moa Money.
That's funny, because it's true.
Mm-hmm. But actually think about it. He probably won't come back for the Moana sequel for the simple reason that there was no hit song on Moana. There was no song that was played on the radio.
Yeah.
The only song we truly remember off the top of our heads is You're Welcome. I liked Moana's song, but
had a catchy rhythm to it, that's why.
But if you ask me to hum it right now, I couldn't.
I know the last three words to it.
Yeah, but if you can't hum the melody, if it doesn't stick in your brain, like the songs in Frozen,
it calls me.
You're the only one, Scott. Get over it.
I do like the soundtrack. I do like the soundtrack.
Well, that's like the soundtrack to Rivers of Light. I don't remember one lick of that soundtrack.
No,
it didn't stick. It didn't work. So
the soundtrack wasn't terrible. The show was terrible. But
it was just
that's a whole other
yeah, that's
show.
a whole other bull act. Let's get this topic going because it's already 9:30.
So sequels. Frozen 2 is slated for a release in 2019. They don't have a title other than Frozen 2. They made a bunch of jokes, thawed, frozen dinners, stuff like that. John Lasseter wasn't that funny about it, whatever. But one other sequel that is on its way is Wreck-It Ralph 2. Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet is the official title of it.
It's just Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Or Ralph Breaks the Internet. It's, you know what? Watching this presentation, watching the clips they showed, it looks pretty funny. I think I'm gonna enjoy this one.
I enjoyed the first one. I really liked it. As an 80s kid growing up in the arcades.
But I think you're going to lose that nostalgia because now they're making something that will appeal to every kid who plays every mobile game. And honestly, how much it may not even have a whole lot to do with gaming once he gets on the internet. I don't know anything about it because I mean the internet is cat videos and dick pics.
Well, at the end of the day, from what I remember of the little press junket that they did was basically the game is broken and they need to go on the internet to find a piece to fix the game.
Right.
Oh, a patch.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, we're all caught up on the link. I can't picture it making it too complicated because then they're going to lose the kids. And I can't picture that you get too, like, in that because then you're going to lose the adults.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that this is going to be more 90s to like maybe early 2000 video games.
If they on dial-up?
Why not?
Yeah, there'd be a lot of motor noises.
Why not?
No, but so there were one thing I found that was interesting is in these clips that they showed, they poke fun of the Disney princesses themselves. So they Vanellope eventually goes into this like area of ohmydisney.com, which will probably be a website which you can go to.
Oh My Disney is actually a show that Disney has.
There you go.
A web show.
It's a YouTube show.
So Vanellope goes into this area. Disney princesses are guarded by stormtroopers. She decides to mess with them. She eventually gets them to leave their Disney princess dresses and wear like comfy clothes, sweats, jeans, hoodies, shirts, Lularoe leggings, I'm sure.
Oh, God.
Monorail carpet. Bowling carpet.
Oh, gosh. Yep. I'm not getting ready tonight.
Talking to you, Sarah Coyle.
And so they have like Elsa slips out of her dress into a shirt that reads "Just Let It Go." Aurora says "Nap Queen." Moana says "Shiny," and Scottish Meredith says "Mum." So they basically try to kind of parody themselves with a little bit of the Disney princess. All those shirts I'm sure will be for sale at the Disney parks on the Disney website.
But the most amazing thing...
Or if they piss me off, Matrimonial.
Yeah, right.
The most amazing thing about that is they got all the princesses to reprise their roles for that movie, which blew my mind.
That was amazing.
Which is, you're never going to have that much Disney true royalty in one movie ever again, I don't think.
Pun intended.
No.
Yes.
Here's what I want out of this, and I'm only looking for one thing out of Wreck-It Ralph on the internet. For the nostalgia sake of it, I want to see him somehow end up in Club Penguin.
There is rumors that might have happened, but
now it's shut down. So
yeah, I don't think it's going to.
They should have called it Wreck-It Ralph 32-bit.
But what was the one before the DMV? It was like a virtual game that you could play, and they had hangout room. I can't remember what it was. But this is going way back, even before playing when there was like something. It was like a little online thing where you can go into chat rooms and all this other stuff and hang out with different friends. I can't remember the name of it for the life of me, but
I would never use an Easter to play that shit. I don't remember what it's called, but I remember the actual game.
No, I was thinking of maybe you're thinking of the one where like the My Virtual Magic Kingdom or something, whatever they had.
That's what it was. That was part of it,
okay.
though.
All right.
That was part of it.
But that one is slated for theaters in March of 2018, so coming soon. Not too far off.
The sequel I'm looking forward to.
This is the next one. Incredibles 2. How long has it been? 15 years now?
Yeah.
So long.
Yeah, so
Craig T. Nelson is so old.
He is.
That was the funniest shit. When you see them walking out, and I mean, we watched it, so you see them walking out on stage, and you're looking at it, and it's like, damn.
Holly Hunter comes out, and Greg T. Nelson comes out. I was like, God, that's Mr. and Mrs. Incredible.
Yeah.
Summer of
I don't
2018.
think we're going to see either one of them twerking in real life.
I'm sorry. Anytime somebody announces Samuel L. Jackson, I can not help myself but scream, motherfucker.
Always.
Motherfucker.
And he's getting up there too, and he's starting to show it a little bit.
Oh
around the eyes, and I mean he's there
despite the Botox.
He's looking like he had a rough life.
Sell them Capital One commercials.
Yeah. What's in your
those damn snakes on the plane?
The monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane.
But Brad Bird came out to talk about his new movie. He's back to direct it, and he had a nice little special tribute to Edna Mode.
That was awesome.
Which
one of my favorite Disney characters ever is Edna Mode.
Which a bunch of real life fashion models came out to pay homage to their anti-cape character. No capes.
Capes.
But no, we were kind of talking about this after watching Cars 3 today. The technology and animation between 2003 and 2017 is amazing. Like you watch Incredibles then, and to see the footage that they did for this little special with Edna Mode, it's awesome. It is so amazing how much they've advanced.
You want to look at advancement? Watch the Toy Story movie.
Toy Story movies.
Absolutely.
And you can see they're just totally night and day. And now we're coming out with Toy Story 4, which is whatever working title. But
Andy's mom's toys.
Oh yeah.
So Buzz is still there?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so is Woody.
Yeah, Buzz and Woody are still there.
There you go.
They just look a little
Bo Peep lost her sheep.
Well, Woody is now a reverse cowboy. Cowgirl. I guess that'd be Jessie.
Oh, that's so bad.
Mr. Potato Head the butt plug.
Speaking of Toy Story, Toy Story 4 was once again announced, even though it's supposed to have premiered this year. We're now in summer 2019, and I think the most notable change from this announcement is that John Lasseter has no direction role in this whatsoever.
Because
he's stepping down. I know it doesn't.
I think he realizes he doesn't need to be. There's no story here. It needs to stop.
Yeah.
This is what the same issue I have with the Cars in Space is what I'm calling it nicely. It needs to end. I mean, you're going to take this too far, and then the backlash is going to be awful.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah, I don't think you could have ended a franchise better than Toy Story 3.
Yeah.
Ethan has gotten into Toy Story a lot. We've been watching all the shorts, movies on repeat. We've watched Toy Story 3 at least a dozen times in the last 2 weeks. I still cry every time.
I can't watch that movie.
Time.
I refuse to watch that movie with people present. There is no way. I can't wait
to walk through his backyard.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe I'm getting... Sorry.
You're getting a little ahead. Josh Cooley's going to be directing this. He went from co-director to full-time director because John Lasseter's stepping down. Cooley was co-director on the Inside Out short film Riley's First Date. And so he came out and kind of talked about the movie just a little bit. He teased a new character named Lulu, which is a stuffed rabbit, and a couple of other new characters. That Bonnie is going to be what looks like a family RV road trip. So my guess is family RV road trip. Some toys get lost somewhere along the way, and they got to find their way back. It's Homeward Bound with toys.
It needs to stop.
Yep.
It's pretty much Toy Story 1, but with an RV.
Homeward Bound is fucking gold. And this piece of shit hack job Cooley, keep your damn hands off her.
It's enough.
Yeah.
No. I mean, you can only make Home Alone so many times.
Yeah, I mean, and fucking Macaulay Culkin still looks 10. So why'd they have to go get that snot-nosed brat for the third one?
But
anyway,
you can't make the same movie over again. People get tired.
Yeah.
The reason people are going to go see Toy Story 4, I said 2 because whatever, 4, are going to be the parents, the grown-ups who that, okay? But here's the thing. They're going to, if they don't need new characters, they need old toy type characters instead of all this new stuff.
But you have to remember, the ones who are going to these movies are not. I have honestly, absolutely at this point, no interest in seeing another Toy Story movie.
Me either.
It's just, the characters had their arc. I don't need another one. There's no place for another one. These toys, unless they're kept and they're played with and everything else, have you ever had a toy for over 20 years?
Nope.
No.
It doesn't make sense.
I've got underwear going on 8 though.
You know, when they start walking away by themselves, then you need to change them. But
I'll normally fart the ass end out of them.
there you go. Nice big hole.
That thing.
Speaking of farting out of the ass, we did get a teaser for where director Dan Scanlon, the guy that directed Monsters University, came out and he talked about a new film that he was working on. It's untitled and just basically give a premise of this suburban fantasy world. It's two teenage boys that live in a magical suburban fantasy world. I didn't quite understand it. It was basically only concept art, but there's a tree with a face, unicorns. This one I totally don't care about.
You sure this wasn't a Tim Burton movie?
It seems like a Tim Burton movie, but it's not. I mean, I'm sure they'll make it into a Tim Burton movie.
I don't remember it.
Yeah,
I don't.
It was basically,
again. It's
nothing about what you've described sounds appealing in the least. I mean, you're taking that's a. You know what this is? This is trying to get some Harry Potter bullshit going on.
They have their Harry Potter bullshit with what he hasn't mentioned yet.
Yeah. So this one apparently is going to be the it's kind of like Inside Out, where it's going to basically just make grown-ups cry. Because
I don't.
Apparently, this is a cats. The way it was described is this is basically going to be Cats in the Cradle with unicorns.
It's too early to figure out what this movie is. I mean, we're in the land of the rewrite and the week, and it's way too early to announce this. There's no hard art yet. Let it be. I think they should have left this one out.
The only thing that Dan Scanlon talked about was this was born out of his own childhood dream to connect with a father who died before they could make any memories together. So, cue the tissues.
It's The Good Dinosaur.
Yeah. Pretty much.
And we also, I watched it. It was all about trying to make you cry.
It tried really hard, hard.
But that's all it was.
Yeah.
And it fell short because of that. And I can see that happening with this as well.
Last, and I am truly excited for this because I saw the trailer today and I've seen the teasers for it as they've come along. Coco. They kind of did a show-stopping look at the next film, which is November of 2017, coming out soon. It is stunning. The premise is, for those of you who don't know, are centered around the Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. In Mexico, it is the one day where supposedly your ancestors get to come back to visit you and you celebrate them, the ones that have passed. It looks amazing. It's
also
so
going
awesome.
to be a movie that is going to make you openly cry.
Oh, no, absolutely.
Because they have said, I couldn't tell you how many signs, it's a very emotional movie. Mm-hmm. Oh, no. When Pixar says it's an emotional movie, I am not going to be in a good mood after this movie.
First of all, I watched the full teaser today. It was in front of Cars 3. There's some moments where I got a little choked up. Oh. When he pulls the guitar off and he sees and finds out, spoilers, but oh my God, this one is going to make a lot of people cry. And, especially because I have a strong affinity for Dia de la Muerte. I love the Mexican culture. I love this whole celebration. It is a wonderful celebration that most Americans have no idea what it's really about, and I'm excited for this movie a ton.
So am I.
You skipped my movie.
Which movie was that?
A Wrinkle in Time.
Yeah, I did.
All right, I'm sorry. You know what? This is the point of the podcast where I say, fuck you, Scott, because I grew up loving this book as a kid.
Me too.
I hated the book. I hated it. I don't know why.
Millennials.
Again, you're not a superhero person. You're not that person. For my overactive imagination, this was one of my it was right up there for me. These are the two books I read constantly as a kid. It was this one and The Secret of Nim.
I mean, I'll give it. They're wonderful.
Is Mikey frozen?
Yeah, Mikey's frozen.
So.
Did we lose him?
Okay. I'm like, he hasn't moved or said anything.
And he hasn't texted us, so.
Oh, he blinked. He's blinking.
Very slowly. Oh, wait, there we go.
Oh, he just sped up.
Oh, that was weird. But I'm sorry.
No,
it looks beautiful.
They can't hardly see me or hear me right now. And
there we go.
Now Tim's gone.
Now
Tim's back.
I got
Wonders of Live
connected to one router right now, so I don't know if y'all can even see me right now.
No, you cut out for a second. You're back.
Cut out for a second, but you're good.
Again, coming from that superhero fantasy kind of realm, it looks fucking beautiful.
It does.
I mean, you have some very big names in it. Hopefully it doesn't jump the shark. If they fuck it up, I'm going to be pissed.
If they fuck it up, I'm personally writing a letter to the head of Disney.
They're going to fuck it up.
I know they are. They're going to have to. There's no way they're going to do this well. But I can dream because it kind of looks a lot like Tomorrowland. I love Tomorrowland. I enjoyed the movie.
So did I.
But I am deathly afraid they're going to screw this one up on me because it's a book that I loved as a kid.
I hate that. I don't think Tomorrowland was received very well when it came out. There was no.
And that to me, that's the problem for how they marketed it because people
agree.
heard Tomorrowland and they thought it was going to be about Tomorrowland in the park.
I agree. They made it too much about. The whole marketing was off on that. That was the real issue with it.
They just needed one more film to put Maleficent Jr. in.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But I also noticed that there were no announcements of more live-action remakes, which is kind of a positive in my opinion.
Yeah. They need to chill out in the live-action remakes.
None that have already been
left? Fox
confirmed.
and the Hound?
Oh, if they do that, I will be totally pissed because that's one of my
can't. That's another movie I can't watch around people.
Yeah.
That's in the house by myself with under blankets with tissues. Mm-mm.
When I was a kid, I used to think I was like, when I have kids, I'm gonna have two boys. I'm gonna name them Copper and Todd.
Guess that's really it for the movie.
Yeah, I mean, all the live action stuff was nothing that we haven't already heard from last year's D23 and other conferences where they outlined Marvel's 4-year plan last year. So nothing really new on the live action side. We know all the Star Wars. We've already heard when those are coming out. So then let's get to the Disney parks.
Let's do video games.
What's that?
Let's do video games real quick because there's only
take it away.
All right, so we finally got confirmation the fucking game is actually coming out. Kingdom Hearts 3 in 2018. I have been dying for this fucking game for I can't tell you how long. It has been the longest break between two games. It's right up there with the Final Fantasy VII remake. That's never going to happen, in my opinion. So, I mean, if you're not a gamer, there's been a bunch of series of games where pretty much Disney and Square gotten together and they made kind of like an epic fantasy adventure game. And you have all the characters go to different lands to unlock them, pretty much. It's a little bit convoluted of a story, and it's confusing as fuck if you've never played them. But I'm truly looking forward to that. And then there's also the Battlefront 2.
Oh.
Which looks mind-blowingly awesome.
Amazing.
When they actually write a new theme song for a character in a fucking video game that sounds just as good as something that's going to come out of the movie, I'm in. There's no doubt. And some of the tech that's coming out. It's going to be it's a new character for the game. I can't remember her name, but it's just her in the game, and it's for the campaign. That you're actually going to have a single player campaign this time around.
It's told from the side of the Imperials.
So yeah, the basis of it was that she's a commander, and it's right after they destroy the second Death Star. And I just can't wait to get my hands on it. I can't wait for a good storyline of this. And then lastly, do you want to talk about the VR stuff that they have coming out, Tim?
Oh yeah, do you guys see the VR stuff that they have?
Have Disney you played any of those phone VR games?
No.
They showed a little clip of what it's supposed to look like, and it looks kind of cheesy, but it's Star Wars. You know, they have a from what we saw of it, it's the headset. It's in partnership with Lenovo. It's one of those ones that you put your phone in the visor, and there's a kit where you can get the lightsaber. You can get a lightsaber and actually wield a lightsaber in the game. And it's not total VR. Trouble. It's augmented reality.
The lightsaber bit is what has me troubled, because with VR games, like on the HTC Vive, for instance, you've got sensors all throughout your room that register the little IR points on your paddles and your headset. So when you swing the sword in front of you, those sensors know exactly where that sword is in space. You can't replicate that with a mobile phone unless you keep it in front of the camera of the phone the whole time. I've played with some VR games like that with my phone, and you know I'm leery
you have to
of
realize it's not full VR though. It's not a full helmet. This is augmented, so that means you can see through the glasses as well.
Sure.
So it's changing the dynamic a little bit. It's also changing the dynamic because they can actually put the sensors in the glasses at this point. So it can kind of read what you're looking at. And it's not, and I'm sure, I mean, this lightsaber is it's not like it's a little paddle. It's a pretty long.
It looks like it's going to be a nice,
hefty,
pricey peripheral.
Oh, without a doubt.
Sure.
It's a full lightsaber hilt with a little stubby bit of lightsaber at the top that glows.
I'm going to have to check. Will I buy it?
Depends on the price point.
I mean, I want to see it. I also like the fact it's not full virtual reality, for the reason that I have animals in my house, and I don't need to be wearing a head thing where I'm going to break it and like a leg or an arm. So,
were there anything else other than really Battlefront and these new VR games or augmented reality games?
I mean, I haven't listened to the whole thing yet. I'm sure they're coming out. They're always coming out with those like little phone games, little time waster games is what I call them. And there's always a list of them coming out for every movie that they come out with. So, I mean, I love the Wreck-It Ralph game. That was a cute little phone game.
I like that one.
Yeah, it was fun. But
let's play What Can We See on Mikey's nightstand over there?
A fan. Is it a box of tissues?
Looks like a box of tissues.
He put all the toys away, so that's good.
Yeah, I noticed that.
No bras today.
Probably in
I think he's frozen again.
I think he might be. So
this was very parks heavy, but this was really parks heavy D23.
It was.
Yeah. First time in a while, right?
Yeah.
And I think
at least parks on this side of the world.
Power supply out of piece.
So I think because Marvel has.
Oh, what the fuck is going on?
What the hell is that?
Mikey's super sped. I think that
Time out. All we saw was Mikey came back to the screen with a power supply.
It just ran through, like, just fucking nuts.
And then he picked that box up off his nightstand that we thought was a box of tissue, but apparently it wasn't.
Yeah.
Am I at normal speed right now?
You're
Yes.
normal speed.
That
Explain, Lucy.
Box.
This is
Amazon box. Can't see what that is.
Can't see. Pull it back some.
Kindle.
Yeah, from like one of the first prototype gen Amazon Kindles.
Oh.
So did you rip that power supply out of your kid's computer? So they stop sucking up your bandwidth?
I used to use that to power my stereo in the garage because it was a car radio, and I had to have a 12-volt power supply because I can't just plug it in. So I wired it into a PC power supply, shorted it out so it would always stay on. So it was one of those, hey, I wonder if I can put a car radio in my garage and make it work, and I did.
There you go.
I had Bluetooth.
Now that we have Mikey back, let's get into the major announcements of D23.
Because this is the only reason anybody came to this.
True.
Yeah.
Park train wreck of baud rate.
We haven't had a D23 with this much parks since what, like 2010 when they announced Fantasyland? 2011?
Well, even that wasn't a huge announcement, though.
No, because it was just pretty much two rides, 2 attractions, and a restaurant.
This was by far the largest. We talked about it last week with the Value Resorts when Michael Eisner stood in front of the Swan and Dolphin and announced the Disney Decade. This feels very similar to that. We had some major announcements at D23, some super expensive announcements. So, ticket prices, hotel prices,
DVC prices.
You have to be careful with that because they're smarter than that.
Oh, I know. They're not going to make Magic Kingdom $175 next month, but
no, because at the end of the day, the reason why all this was announced was because of Universal, and you can't tell me different.
Oh no, absolutely.
It's Universal, and the 50th is coming up, so they know they have to do this right.
If Universal raises their prices, then yes, I see a huge price increase. But if they want to be on target and fight with Universal, they can't go crazy with those ticket prices.
So
it just won't work.
Yeah. So let's get to one of the biggest announcements. Some of it we already knew. It's sort of just a fleshing out of the information that we kind of knew already. But Star Wars, the Star Wars Land actually has a name other than Star Wars Land. It is.
I'm still going to call it Star Wars Land.
I know everyone's going to.
Oh yeah.
But it's Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and this is the model of this. You will get lost in this place. It looks so immersive. It's going to allow guests to visit a remote trading port at the edge of wild space, where Star Wars characters and their stories come to life. Guests are going to find themselves in the middle of all the action. You are going to essentially live, eat, breathe Star Wars in this. What did they say? 14 acres.
14 acres.
14 acres.
14
it's the largest expansion on MGM. I'm sorry, Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
Disney Park.
I've called it every name but what it is right now. It's the largest expansion for that park right now, ever, and it's also one of the largest expansion Disneyland has gone under.
It's massive.
It's the largest single park expansion ever, is what they said.
So we got a little bit.
That's a huge bitch.
Yeah. We got a little bit of information about the 2 major attractions that guests are going to get to enjoy. The first is the guests are going to put themselves in the middle of a battle between the First Order and the Resistance. and this one is going to essentially make you feel like you're on a Star Destroyer in the hangar bay, and it's built to scale. So I think this is going to be that virtual reality. This I think is where they may put that lightsaber battle that they've been talking about having.
Well, don't forget, we did see a car with, I want to say it was 6 seats.
Yes, it's like a 6-seat car, which will be this.
Right, so that's definitely going to have to be that. So I don't know what's going to be built to scale.
I don't know, but it looks huge.
Oh,
I think we've seen the pictures of the AT-AT skeletons, and I think that's part of this attraction here.
Yeah.
So if these AT-ATs are built to scale, who knows what else is going to be?
Yeah, it's going to be a massive, and it looks like a trackless ride system because that looks like the similar cars that they use at Mystic Manor in Hong Kong.
Extremely similar.
Yeah. So this is going to be a really cool attraction. That was really all the information they gave about it. They didn't give a plot about it, but the one we do know the plot about is that the guests will have the opportunity to fly the Millennium Falcon, piloting the ship, shooting blasters, or preparing for hyperspace. So I think this is going to be a mission space type ride where someone is up in the gunner.
Yeah.
Someone's the pilot. Someone's the co-pilot. Mikey can yell at the gunner saying, "Don't get cocky."
Well, but the
exception is everything's gonna work.
Yes.
What you do is actually you're gonna fail or you're gonna pass. It's not like you can just leave the stick alone in mission space and you still.
Right. If you perform your mission well, you'll get galactic credits. Credits are no good here.
Can we spend those on stuff? Probably not.
Probably not.
No. Well, no.
Bob Chapman kind of alluded to where you might be able to.
There's some spots where they're not just all right. Disney doesn't. It sounds like Disney's not doing this half-ass.
No.
I mean, it might not be anything great. It could be something like the stupid skee ball prizes, depending on how many credits you have. But hell, I would just want to do it for bragging rights.
Pins.
It'll be a photo pass frame or some type of photo pass, something pins, where you can got credits.
Ranking pins, where if you have your medal is based on what you've earned. But this is the cool part. If you bring the ship back banged up, you could be put on the list of a bounty hunter. And one of the interesting things that they said was, if you end up on, I don't know who this character is, but Harkos?
He's a new character.
Yeah, he's a new character.
So if you end up on Harkos' list, you could face a problem. He might find you and have an interaction with you, and that's going to be the really cool part about this, is that you're going to have.
Is it bad that I don't want to win just to have the fucking interaction? Yeah. There's something a little wrong with me, and I understand that. But
from what they said, the whole park is going to be completely interactive, where all the cast members are going to know how you performed on both rides.
I am not going to lie, though. I am very concerned about this because I have very big illusions and very big dreams about this.
I think
and again, if they mess this up,
we've been let down in the past.
Yeah,
exactly.
One of the other things is they did talk about some of the characters that are going to be there. You'll see BB-8, Chewbacca, members of the First Order, but this is the coolest part.
And
say
it. Go ahead and say it.
DJ Captain Rex spinning the 1-2.
Yes. Yes.
That's awesome.
DJ Captain Rex.
Now,
good for it.
Now it better be Pee Wee Herman.
It has to be. Yeah. Because they even somebody mentioned it in one of the panels about how Pee Wee Herman and Star Wars got together.
Yeah.
And I don't remember who it was.
So at the cantina, you can go there and you'll try blue milk. They'll have drinks there. It again, really cool. I think Star Wars fans have been clamoring for this since when did they buy it? 2012.
I think so.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
For the last 5 years, we've been waiting for someone to make the cantina. Looks like it's going to happen. I hope we have. Mikey's frozen again.
Yeah. I think we lost him completely.
I think we did. Mikey, how you doing up there, buddy? He'll speed up and we'll see him run through the house.
He'll get in his hyperactive mode.
Yeah.
You know what?
He'll come back as Force Image.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think this is going to be great. The one thing I was a little disappointed. There he goes.
I know. Oh, I'm fucked.
It's the old Max Headroom now.
Yep. Yeah, there it goes.
And you know, and everybody gets to see what we deal with every week now. This is what's cool about the live show. But another meme that I saw was somebody took the picture of the model that Disney released at D23 today, and said, "This is what Galaxy's Edge is going to look like," and they photoshopped it because it was like, 2 people here, 1 person there, and 3 people there. It was a lot of space and not that many people. So they photoshopped with just like every available clear inch of walking space was shoulder to shoulder people.
Oh, there's no
this
doubt.
Is what it's going to look like.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
But you see,
I just got a
to get
message
into that hotel.
Stephanie that Mikey's having technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Well, we'll welcome him back when he gets back there. Yeah. So let's stay with Star Wars, and while the park is going to have wall to wall people, no doubt about it.
I am so all in on this hotel.
This is the
freaking almost crying watching this.
This is
because
I'm
overly excited.
This is going to be the most requested, most visited, and most expensive hotel on Disney property.
Absolutely.
The Star Wars Resort, whatever they're going to call it, because they're going to call it a ship of some sort. It's basically going to be a starship.
It's going to be a ship.
There's going to be no actual windows in the rooms. They are all going to be these virtual panels that are going to give you a look into space. You're going to see the Millennium Falcon fly by when you're sitting in your room at night. You're going to see.
Iger still getting chills about this. I've learned about this.
Iger said every room in this resort has a view of space.
Yes,
is what Iger said.
Yes.
I am still getting chills about this. This is like my 10-year-old dream come true on every fucking level. Yeah. And
I think this is probably one of the most major announcements that we are getting a Star Wars hotel.
That's what
they're going to give you uniforms to wear if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can buy the clothes.
You can cosplay. You can take this experience to wherever the hell you want to take it. I am overly excited about this.
That's going to be an expensive ass vacation.
I mean, I will charge it. There's plenty of room on some cards.
This is literally, as Bob Iger said, unlike anything that exists in the world today.
I have an honest question.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, I'm good friends with Bob. I'll answer it for him.
No. And it's not for that kind of thing. Okay. It's like my only problem is I don't want to do this my whole Disney vacation.
No.
You would do it 1 or 2 nights, and
you know what? And that's what Andrew is like. When we were talking about this, I was like, "This is going to be $1,000." Oh, hold on, I'm gonna have to let me adjust this while we wait for Mikey to come back. And then when Mikey
he's having Wi-Fi issues.
Yeah, he is.
All right, they found the wireless adapter. He should be back soon.
Okay. Well, when he comes back on, we'll add him back in.
We'll readjust.
All right. So we'll just have a little blank space for him. This is going to be, this is going to run close to $1,000 a night. No joke. I mean, honestly, by the time this is built, which is around, I think they said somewhere between 2020 and 2021. So we're talking, ways out. I imagine it will be near Hollywood Studios.
I wouldn't doubt if it had its own entrance into that section of the park.
You see, and that's exactly what I'm thinking. You're going to have missions that are going to send you into that park to do things.
The only problem is that Star Wars Land backs up to that access road and does not. I don't know if they have enough room, based on, because they had to, as they expanded Hollywood Studios to reroute Star Wars, they had to reroute the parking lot entrance, which backed up to where Streets of America and the Lights, Motors, Action was. So I'm not sure if they will have enough room there. So I'm not...
They might go... But you never know. They might go underground with it.
They could. Which would keep the illusion, because
Exactly.
You're supposed to be in the Starship, and then you could go underneath the highway, underneath World
it's
Drive.
It's either underground or you're going to have a bridge that's going to connect it. I mean, it's not beyond the realm of a possibility.
Right.
To keep you in that feel, if it's that immersive, they're not going to want to walk. They're not going to want to make you cross the highway.
No.
Right.
So,
and the best way to do that would be something that they can control, like an above ground bridge or an underground tunnel.
So what they're going to run into a problem with is they've moved Studio Drive, which is the driveway that gets into the parking lot. They moved that outward to expand Hollywood Studios to accommodate, and then there's a canal that goes across there. So they may end up having to do that. They may end up having to go underground to go underneath this access road. But I'm not sure where they could put this because you've got some canals, and the fireworks field is off to the other side of World Drive.
I have a feeling the fireworks field is going to get shortened.
It could.
Yeah.
I think that's why we don't have a nighttime thing right now. To be honest with you, it's that they have to reconfigure so much.
Yeah.
That they don't know where to put everything right yet.
I mean, like the nighttime parade at Magic Kingdom, or
at all of it. They're trying to make it more contained. I mean, when you're having multiple projects like this, you have to
Mikey's back.
Have the room for.
There goes
welcome back, Mikey. Or not?
No, he's back.
He's back.
I just got to get Tim and Adam back on the screen here. He's frustrated, but it's okay. Mikey, how you doing there, buddy?
Man, you don't even want to know. I'm fucking done with this.
Well,
all right, keep talking.
It's okay because that's going to do it for this week. I'm just fucking with you, Ted.
I forgot what I was saying.
Hold on. I'm just
reconfiguring I left.
I
installed a new wireless adapter in my fucking computer just so I could get connected back to the internet. The damn everything was going crazy. I've yelled at everybody in the house. It's good fucking time.
I bet it is. All right, we're going to put Mikey back in here. Mikey, stay still for a second or just drink some more.
Okay, his eyes are big. I didn't know if he froze or if he was chugging for a hot minute.
Stay still.
He was shotgunning that beer.
Yeah, but the eyes were blinking, gave it away. His eyes blinked were all right.
All right, so we're back. Mikey, we were just nerdgasming over the Star Wars stuff.
We're still talking about Star Wars.
Yeah,
okay, of course I didn't miss anything then.
What did you think about the hotel?
It looks like something I'll never go to.
It's honestly, like I was saying,
there's no way that I can afford to go there.
Andrew and I are going to basically say this will be 1 or 2 nights of a trip, and then stay at the Value Resort for the rest of the nights.
I don't want to, but you see, that's the problem, and that's my true issue with this is that, you know what, I love Star Wars, but it's not necessarily, and this is what your problem was with all the superhero stuff and the Marvel stuff was that. As much as I love Star Wars, I can't role play for 3 days and go to Magic Kingdom.
No, this is
have that make sense to me.
To me, this hotel feels like a theme park, where
exactly
you should go to it for a day, a night, and enjoy all of that for one night, and then go back to another hotel for the rest of your trip. And you know what? Smart on Disney, because this will actually help keep the Hollywood Studios crowd a little bit down. If you've got a hotel of, say, and they didn't announce room size, but if you do
they showed some images.
I'm talking about like a number of rooms. If you do a 1,500 rooms, or maybe it's going to be a tower, so 700 to 800 rooms. I mean, that's a lot of people to keep out of the parks for a day. Or for days at a time.
Well, to be fair, it's not going to be out of the parks because I guarantee you, like I said, there's going to be a connection between that and Hollywood, Disney,
I'm sure.
whatever. whatever freaking it's going to be ends up being called. But
Galaxy
that's the other thing that they didn't announce yet, which is kind of making me question. What's Disney Hollywood movie studios actually going to end up being called?
Yeah, I don't know, because I know Bob Iger had announced, semi-announced that a while ago.
Yeah, there was a name coming.
Yeah,
Disney Adventure.
Yeah.
I
don't know what they're going to call it, but I don't think they're ready to call it that until. I think that's going to be something that comes during the 50th. They'll rename it for the 50th, I think.
Oh yeah, I agree.
But the hotel is going to be awesome. Mikey's right. Most of us are not going to stay there for at all, if maybe a night, just because of the exclusivity of it. I think that it's going to be booked up for the next decade.
Oh, absolutely.
And two, the price is going to be so. It's going to be. I think at the end of the day, it will be the most expensive hotel rack rate on property.
Well,
I think it's going to be very difficult to just go and look at that hotel. Like, people go down there.
They're not going to let you in.
They're not going to let you in just to look.
I don't think you can get into the hotel without a Magic Band tied to that resort.
Yeah, I agree with. Right. There's no way they're letting you in, because this is an experience that whoever's staying at this resort is paying extra.
It is a private Disney experience. Is exactly what this is. It's not necessarily a resort, and it's not a theme park. It is an experience. It is going to be a big building with a shitload of LCD monitors instead of windows, and if that computer crashes, you get blue screen of death on every floor.
I mean, but to be fair, do this on the cruises already.
Yeah, and that's
it's not something new that they just came up with.
No.
So I mean, it's not new technology by any stretch of the imagination.
So, but no, it looks really cool, and what they're doing with Star Wars and the franchise, really good. Disney has taken Star Wars under its wing and made it its own. To the point, I'm thankful that George Lucas sold the shit, because
hell yeah.
You and me both.
Without a doubt.
He would be fucking this up so bad.
You think he's got his own room at this tower going in?
He's so miserable about the direction that Star Wars went in. I guarantee he's the person who's a curmudgeon and wants absolutely nothing to do with it.
Oh, absolutely. He hasn't looked back. He sold the franchise and he hasn't looked back.
So let's stay with Hollywood Studios, and what is coming up in August, on August 13th of this year, we are going to lose another ride at Hollywood Studios. The Great Movie Ride is going away, rumored for years, and now, 10 years later, Mr. Corliss has officially become confirmed in his rumor. We're getting the Great Mickey Ride, or so what it's supposed to be. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Wait. Tom Corliss predicted this 10 years ago?
Well, it seems like 10 years ago. He's been talking about the Great Mickey Ride for the last 5 years.
Everybody has said it.
I don't listen to that asshole. So I was gonna give the credit to Jason, because Jason, this is what he wanted to put in there.
Not really.
No, he wanted a Walt.
He wanted a Walt blowjob ride.
Yeah. But this is pretty interesting. It's going to be Mickey's first themed attraction. Really?
No, it's not. That's not true. He had attractions. This is his first actual ride.
Ride. I mean ride.
His face is on a Ferris wheel.
Yes.
Mickey's Fun Wheel of Death.
But not like but like immersive ride about Mickey. So
no, he's had attractions. I mean, you think about the thing that was before Home Magic.
The Mickey Mouse
there's been attractions. There's never been an actual true ride.
Yeah, dark ride style.
Mm-hmm.
So while they didn't quite say it was exactly going to take the footprint of the Great Movie Ride, they're closing the Great Movie Ride. I think they're going to have to expand it based on what they've talked about. So maybe they make some room in the Pixar area for this. But what will be interesting is, does the Chinese theater go away?
Right. That's what I was thinking. Do they alter the outside of the building?
I think it is.
I think it is too.
Which
also leads to the question is what happens to the name and what happens to the overall theme of the park? Does Streets of America change?
What happens to the Star Wars projection show?
It's gone.
Huh.
Once Star Wars Land's open,
Yeah.
it's going to have its own area for that. That projection show was finished.
Yeah.
I probably unpopular opinion on this. And yes, there's some great parts to the Great Mover ride, but I've seen it enough. I don't really care about it. I don't need to ride it every time down there. I mean, yes, is the Wicked animatronic awesome? Fuck yeah! But at the end of the day, that ride had issues. The freaking rain that stopped actually being rain.
Yeah.
There's the water scene where you're looking at a screen and you know what? It's time for something new.
It was a good nap at the end, though.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Well, I napped during the last time I went. I just went right to bed. But I mean,
from what I've been hearing, the last few weeks or months, even the alien scene hasn't even been working. The ride just bypasses right through the alien scene.
I mean, it needed a lot more help. It was a very big expense when it was built. It needed a lot of maintenance. They had water features that actually ended up corroding parts of the ride and parts of the attraction. Will I miss it? But it's not something that, especially because they took the cast member, the interactive part pretty much. Yeah. They made all that pre-recorded speech, which I can't stand most of the time when you do that.
I hate the Robert Osborne stuff. It made the ride so bad. In fact, I haven't ridden it since they added that stuff in there.
We did it once, and that was it.
Yeah, I did it
once. We didn't do it last time at all.
I did it once, and I was like, I don't want to ever ride this again. I hated it.
I just wanted to renew my wedding vows at the Wizard of Oz scene, because used to you could rent that out, but I guess you can't now.
No, it's going to be torn down.
I'm not.
Sorry,
I'm not missing it.
No, I'm not going to miss it either. My friend, she was and still is a part-time cast member there. She does play a gangster role every now and then.
Ricky thinks she's hot.
Bugsy. Bugsy is her name. The woman's name is the gangster's name is Bugsy because I guess it goes both ways.
Oh my!
We got the woman gangster, and Ricky was just staring at her the whole time. My oldest son was just staring at her and ogling her. So I don't know if it's the same.
Smile.
Ricky
no,
has
but she turned around and looked him in the eyes because he was just staring at her, and she said, "Put your eyes back in your head, kid." I told him to take a picture. It lasts longer.
See, and I will miss that because there were you get a cast member every now and then who was the best. Like they made that. It was all about the cast member. And sadly, we're getting away from those type of rides where the interaction between the cast member and the guest make the ride, like Jungle Cruise.
Well, to be fair, I think it's changing because from what it sounds like with Star Wars and not so much, but also Pandora, they're changing it so much to the ride, to the actual person's interaction. And I kind of like that it's a little more personal. If I want that, I can find it.
Right. And you can find it with cast members throughout the land. From what I understand, at Pandora, they have those, like you're saying, they have those ace guides every now and then.
Exactly.
That come around.
And it's all of Animal Kingdom. When you really look at it, if you interact and talk to those casters, they're more than willing to talk to you and have that conversation. You can get that personal connection. But for those who don't like that, then go on your attraction and don't do it. Disney is one of those places where your vacation is up to you to make.
Yeah. But I mean, look, the ride I think is a great idea. My biggest issue with this ride is we're getting the new like Ren and Stimpy style Mickey Mouse.
I agree. I definitely agree.
Just give me Ren and Stimpy. Shit.
I hate the new Disney XD Mickey and Minnie.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It's look, I like Ren and Stimpy. They're for a different time, different era. This is not what I want with my Mickey Mouse.
And a different genre.
Yeah.
It's just a different genre altogether.
To be fair, the rest of this park is going so adult.
It is.
That they have to relate it back to kids somewhere.
And this is the new Disney XD Minnie and Mickey. It's what's
popular now. Yeah. It's what your children are watching and used to.
I know. I don't really like that new Mickey and Minnie. I don't like it. And I'm sure our listeners will chime in. If
I in the live definitely agree with you. But at the end of the day, you can't tell me a kid is going to get the same experience that I am out of Star Wars Land.
Yeah. No.
It's not for them.
Well, I mean...
But that's what has me really, really excited.
When you get to the 13-year-olds, I think they'll be excited for Star Wars Land. Like, Ethan loves Star Wars. So, when it gets built, he'll be 5. That's perfect time for Star Wars.
If he can go on these rides, if he can fit on these attractions, there's going to be height limits on some of them.
I'm sure he'll be able to ride the one with that ride vehicle because that looks like
that's a Haunted Mansion style. I think that'll be an all ride. The Millennium Falcon one will probably be the Star Tours height, which I think is 40 inches or 42 inches.
But again, but is your kid going to want to walk around and watch you drink blue milk?
Can he have some blue milk?
It's not alcoholic.
If it's not alcoholic, he might. But they were actually, the way it kind of was presented during D23.
It's going to be a bar. Yeah,
it's going to be a bar.
Look, they know who spends the money. They know who spends
exactly. The money. Well, again, it's a long time since Disney focused on adults. Mm-hmm. And this is what Star Wars is going to be, I think.
Yeah. So, the way they described the Mickey and Minnie's Railway, it's gonna look a lot like Phantom Manor, or not Phantom Manor, Mystic Manor over in Hong Kong. It's gonna be where the walls come to life with projection mapping. You're gonna go through the movie screen, join Mickey and his friends like you've never seen them before. It's gonna be
because I don't watch Disney XD.
I know. Yeah. But it's supposed to be. Look, I'm sure the effects will be really awesome and phenomenal.
Well, they coined the term 2.5D.
Yeah, I think they're going to be visual effects along the lines of Mystic Manor in Hong Kong. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go. I'm not going to Hong Kong. Go check out the YouTube videos of that ride. It's pretty cool.
Momo, my question is it going to be more Hong Kong or is it going to be more pirates?
Could be pirates.
And some of the digital that they used in Shanghai.
But 2.5D makes me think maybe it's going to be a hand-drawn animation style, but you may have it projected and layered. Yeah. So it wouldn't just be all on one screen. You'll have different layers going on. Yeah. So,
I'll have to wait to see it.
Yeah.
You can hide a lot if you go with a hand-drawn animation style as opposed to a full CG, so that can help, I think. Make it look a little different, but I'll be honest, guys. After we go and see it the first time, I probably won't fast pass it.
Yeah.
Until I'm on it and figure out how the ride works, we're holding judgment on it. I have to see it. I have to figure out if it's a thrill ride, what it actually is, because it's kind of pitched as a thrill ride, but it kind of isn't. And it's confusing the crap out of me the way they presented it. So I need to actually experience it, and I'm holding judgment on this one.
Disney Imagineer Kevin Rafferty, who's spearheading this ride, he's essentially the director of this ride. He basically called it the most boldest, impossible things we've ever done in 40 years of being an Imagineer. It's going to be game-changing. It's not going to be it's going to be a larger-than-life attraction. So I'm very excited for it. I just wish it was classic Mickey or Pie-Eyed Mickey or even, the Mickey that we have in Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Those kind of Mickeys. I don't like this new Ren and Stimpy Mickey.
Well, you know what? What I would actually like is sort of what Jason said, but I would love Mickey through the years. Yeah. I would love it to go black and white to color. I would love something like that kind of thing.
And look, if you want to tie in the XD, start with black and white Mickey. Start with regular old, original Mickey from 1928, and go through.
And then bring them up to the modern, because that's what I would like.
Kind of like kind of like what they did with Mickey and the Magical Map in Disneyland.
Or forget if you really want to go. I mean, you had the Epic Mickey video game.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a video game nerd.
I like that Mickey.
We own it.
But it was the old style and the new style. You had the black and white side and the color side. You had the 2D scroller and the adventure game. Give me that in an attraction, and I'm all in.
Yeah. So before we leave Hollywood Studios for the last time, let's talk a little bit about the. You know what? No, we'll save that for transportation. Mikey, where'd he go?
He's right. He didn't freeze this.
I'm eating a chicken nugget. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be polite.
Let's talk about making Epcot great again, because there was a lot.
Well, what about Toy Story?
Toy Story. So the Toy Story is opening in next year.
Yeah, Toy Story is opening early. They apparently have been working really hard on Toy Story Land. That will be done in summer of 2018. So almost
just in time for Wine and Dine.
Yeah, almost a half year ahead of schedule.
Yes, but you know what?
I'm scared.
Guess what's delayed now because they fucking fast tracked this.
What do you think?
Star Wars line.
Star Wars is getting delayed. California will have it first. It's been
California will have it
officially
first.
announced.
I'm
pissing my ass off.
Now they said 2019. So my guess is Disneyland will still be summer of 2019 like they planned.
And we'll get it December.
And we'll get it in
if we're lucky. I think we're going to get put back.
I think they'll have it ready for December 2019.
I do not. They had too much work to do with Toy Story Land to focus on it.
So, and especially now, they are in fact adding the hotel, so that's a lot. It's
going to get pushed back.
So
the feeling that it's going to get pushed back.
Toy Story. So Bob Chapek came out and he talked about Toy Story Land opening up in the summer of 2018. This is going to be really cool. So you basically are going to, from what I understand, you're going to walk through Andy's house into the backyard, and that is where all the toys have set up a kind of backyard carnival kind of atmosphere. There's a bunch of toy boxes where they've unpacked Andy's toys and have set up areas for you to go and play. So there are two new themed attractions. One is the Slinky Dog Dash, which is a family-style coaster, very similar to Goofy's Barnstormer in thrill ride size. You're going to zip, dodge, dash around many turns and drops that Andy has created to really make Slinky and his coils stretch to their limits. We've seen the overhead photos for some time now of the construction going on. It's a pretty lengthy coaster for a family-style ride.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's bigger than the Barnstormer, and it goes underground.
Bigger than the Barnstormer.
It's significant.
And there's a little bit more corkscrews going on with this than Barnstormer, right?
Yeah, there's more. From what it seems like, the track system is the same as Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Mm-hmm. It's a steel coaster.
Yeah. But I think it's, from what I understand, from what I've read, it's going to be, I'm thinking about a minute and a half to a minute 45 on the ride, which is about 45 seconds longer than Goofy's Barnstormer and Mine Train combined. they're about a minute each.
I'm not going to lie, I have a huge concern that this is going to be Dino Land Part 2.
Yeah,
a little bit. The
way it's described, it's like, okay, we took all the shit from the Honey I Shrunk the Kids distraction, and then we took the carnival atmosphere from Dino Land and combined them. Because let's be honest, in no Toy Story have they ever decided, hey, let's have a carnival.
Yeah,
that just seems weak as far as theming.
Yeah,
it's shoehorned in.
You know what? I think these are very good point. These are off the rack attractions that have been plussed by Disney,
which is Dino Land.
Yeah, which is Dino Land.
You look at Triceratops Spin. You at all the carnival fare, and you're talking a carnival now. You're not even talking a quote unquote roadside attraction. You're flat out calling it a carnival.
Yeah. And maybe not so much the Slinky Dog coaster. I think that's probably a little bit more custom fabrication by, I think, I'm trying to think of the company that does it. It starts with a V. They've done a lot of the coasters for Disney. That is going to be more a customizable ride. However, the Alien Swirling Saucers. This is essentially a toy playset that Andy gets from Pizza Planet. And the building is going to be the box that has been opened up and set up, where you're going to board a rocket toy vehicle So kind of like a flying saucer that's a rocket toy ship, and you're gonna get in there, and then this claw is gonna come down and try and like pick you out of there, and all we're gonna have is a lot of aliens going the claw.
You do that really well.
I like
Yeah, that was a little scary.
He's about the size of one of those little aliens.
He is. He is.
Doesn't have 3 eyes though.
Well, he wears a hat most of the time.
I don't like your attitude, Mr. Elboon.
That was weird.
But no, I think it'll be fun. I just hope they don't do they don't try to do the floor hockey table that has not worked at Disneyland in 1955. That did not work at California Adventure in 2012. I just really hope they steer clear of that. I'm not sure what they're going to do here.
Well,
it'll probably be trackless like Luigi's Rollicking Roadsters. Again, I think this is just rehashing ride technology. I'm not excited about Toy Story Land as much as Star Wars Land, even though my boy is fully immersed in Toy Story right now, and I love Toy Story. Just not gonna think this is gonna be anything super special.
Well, I mean, the big trigger here for me is the Paradise Pier retheming Disneyland to
Pixar.
Toy Boardwalk, wherever the hell the fuck I'm calling it.
Pixar.
But
Pixar Pier.
Pixar Pier.
One word.
Yeah, but I mean, been to Disneyland. They're basically carnival rides up and down that pier.
They are.
And I have a feeling they're just going to duplicate. You're not going to have a pier, but it's going to be duplicated enough where you're just going to have just a minor theming, a minor retooling of some of these attractions, but it's not going to be what I want it to be. So,
FYI, the company that's building Slinky Dog Dash is
Art Mills.
Mac Rides.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Mac Rides, and they built Goofy's Sky School at California Adventure.
I thought it was going to be Vekoma. Art Mills chimed in. He asked if it was Vekoma. I thought that's who it was because they've done a lot of the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and Goofy's Barnstormer.
My thought, why not show some love to the little RC car from the movie?
Well, they have it in Shanghai.
It's a perfect ride vehicle. Why not?
Paris,
I mean,
there's not enough room.
It's like a Buccaneers
To
type ride
be fair, a fair type ride takes a lot less footprint, and they don't have to do anything for it.
Well, they could have put in that RC the RC thing that swings back and forth from Disneyland Paris.
But that still can come. It's a freaking, at the end of the day, it's a Buccaneer.
I know.
I mean, again, it's not a huge footprint.
And again, what we're getting into is Primeval World, which is probably the shittiest ride on property.
Shut your whore mouth, Scott.
That's so bad.
Oh, it is so bad.
Oh, God, I love it. That reminds me, we have a podunk. It's now been abandoned.
But he's right. It's a podunk amusement park ride.
Yeah, and I love that.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't need it in Disney if I can go down the block to a carnival.
Yeah.
You want to put a carnival ride into this place? Give me the little green men in the space shuttle, but put it on the end of some arms and give me the octopus, but with the space shuttles off of.
You would never. You couldn't pay me enough to get on that.
Oh, come on, man!
I will throw up all over the place.
We watched Sandlot today, and I was like,
I got
Killing
Chaw! What? What's Chaw?
I rode that when I was about 7 or 8 years old with my uncle at the state fair, and I didn't ride it again for about 10 years.
I mean, you might as well throw a Gravitron in the mix, too, then.
Mikey, apparently...
Well, you got that. It's called Space, Mission Space.
Yeah. Mikey,
Orange.
Apparently, Matt Holmes talks about Dog Patch is what I think you're referring to.
Yeah, Dog Patch. Hell yeah. And they actually had a Gravitron, but it was a great big whiskey still that you got into, and it spun you around and pinned you to the outside of the barrel.
# Arkansas.
They had that.
And there was and the roller coaster was called the Arkansas Twister, and I think Matt can back me up on that. But it didn't spin around like the Primeval World does. It was just it was a little rinky-dink podunk roller coaster that you couldn't see the rails from outside your car, which was freaking terrifying. Because you didn't, and it just basically it had a bunch of just flat turns like probably the world does, and a couple of little dips.
It was a Wild Mouse.
Yeah, Wild Mouse roller coaster.
It was Wild Mouse, and then they rebranded it Arkansas Twister
because at the end of the day, when you really want to think about it, Space Mountain is a giant wild mouse, indoor wild mouse.
Yeah, kind of. It's more like honestly, Space Mountain reminds me of like the bobsled style coaster. Similarly,
well, Space Mountain is pretty much an indoor
wild mouse.
Yeah. No, it's Matterhorn.
Matterhorn. It's an indoor Matterhorn.
It's an indoor Matterhorn. So is there anything else that you know what I found interesting about this is no new restaurants other than the cantina. No new restaurants at Hollywood Studios.
I think that's coming.
I'm sure it will as they flesh things out, but
I mean,
Toy Story still
they need them.
Yeah,
they do. It has the weakest dining options of any of the parks is at Hollywood.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know. I don't think we've heard everything that's going into Star Wars lands yet, and I don't think we've heard everything that's going into Pixar land yet because of they're right now focusing on attractions because that's what everybody wants to talk about. They're not going to focus on the freaking dining options. Yeah. It's just not important.
They're phased openings too, aren't they? Both parks going to be phased openings.
I'm sure they will be. They didn't say anything about it, but I'm sure they will be.
Toy Story is probably going to be phased.
I don't think so.
Toy Story might not be. Actually, I highly doubt Star Wars gets a phased opening because you can't phase that. That's meant to be totally immersive.
Right. Well, yeah. Star Wars is probably going to be completely open, but I think Toy Story probably might be phased.
I don't think so.
I can see that because at the end of the day, it's nothing super special that that the public is clamoring for.
But it's 2 attractions. I mean, and it's not highly themed. So I can picture that opening easier than Star Wars.
Yeah, no, I can see that too. But I would like to see. I'm sure that both of them are gonna have. They're probably gonna say we need to open. And again, why they rush Toy Story as fast as possible? We need to open something here soon, and we're running out of time.
Because we're closing everything else.
Yes, which is why I don't understand why they chose now to close the Great Movie Ride.
I think because the way that they need to expand the park and expand the ride in order to get that ready for the 2021 50th anniversary, they need to start demo now, which is going to probably take 8 to 9 months in itself. You're talking 2018 before you even start work on it, and then you're talking a 2.5 year ride build. I can see that happening.
Well, I also think it has something to do with the theming, to be honest with you, and they have to take down the facade.
Yeah.
And I think the real issue there right now is the theming of the Chinese theater.
Yeah, and I think
that's they have to take that. Once they take that, in order to take it down, they have to close it.
And that's the rebranding of Hollywood Studios, as we see it. We're not a studio that makes movies anymore. We are a amusement park or theme park.
Exactly.
Yeah. Is Tower of Terror officially the new weenie?
I think it's got to be, right?
It was at one point, then it wasn't, then it was again. So we'll see.
Maybe
for at least a year or two, it's going to be.
Because when you're in the rooms and you're watching the Times Guide on the TV, they still and when they come to the Hollywood Studios section, Tower of Terror is giant, and there's a tiny little Chinese theater on the side of the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's the only ride you have left in the park. Kind of by default, it's the weenie.
Yeah. Hey, Rock and Roller Coaster's still there.
So
this is true.
Ride. For now. There's rumors about that ride too.
Yeah.
We're not going to get into that because until I hear substantial...
Skinner is not coming. I'm sorry.
No.
Please, God, no.
But let's talk about some of the new things that Mikey is probably in love with. We're making Epcot great again.
Fuck you,
Let's do Magic Kingdom because there's only one thing to do Magic Kingdom because we can spend the whole hour on fucking Epcot.
All right, so Magic Kingdom.
Let's go to Magic Kingdom first.
This is interesting. So, Magic Kingdom has one announcement. We are getting a new theater with live entertainment world-class entertainment, as I
Yes.
said, is coming to Main Street USA. And I'm really excited for this because having been to Kansas City a lot, being from Missouri, the Williswood Theater from the 20s, as it was built in the 20s, is coming to Main Street USA, and I cannot say how cool this is.
Oh, me too.
This is awesome.
What my biggest point was when we went to Disneyland as opposed to Disney World, the show quality in Disneyland is
we've talked about it.
1,000
right,
times
exactly,
better.
a few times, but
LA
I mean
versus Florida.
Yeah, but
Right.
but this is giving Disney World to catch up now.
So
This
now,
is giving that opportunity.
My only
Just
thing
don't
is,
give me Frozen, give me Aladdin.
yeah.
yes.
Now here's the interesting point. One, this is going to be a beautiful building. If you go, I implore you, go Google the Williswood Theater. It is a beautiful theater. It is an awesome piece of architecture that is, I think, one of the most beautiful theaters when you talk about the Hyperion, the Carthay Circle, the New Amsterdam in New York. These classical theaters from the 20s. This is gorgeous, and I think the American public is going to love this. I think the public is going to love this. Where's it going? This is the interesting part. Where does it go?
Yeah.
Well,
no,
now,
they
the only thing they
announced-
said was the end of Main Street, so it could be on either
No.
side. I think it's going in the very front of Main Street, and I think Tony's is going away.
No, it's
No, I don't
going
think so
in the
either.
back. It's going from what I read and from what I understood, it's kind of going where they opened up the new paths behind Main Street. It's going somewhere back there, from what I understood. How I kind of grasped it. I don't think it's going to be on Main Street. It can't. There's no room.
I'm not sure where they can go with this because, over by if you go over by on the if you're all right. So we're walking towards the castle. If you're at the end, on the left hand side is Crystal Palace, and the Baby Center. There is cast member walkthrough areas, but that's where the parade goes through at the end of the day. The parade is back there.
And then
No.
they're not going to get rid of Crystal Palace.
No.
I know they're not. I know they're not.
It's on the other.
So
If you've ever been there during high overflow days,
Yeah,
where they
so
make
now-
you walk around the back,
On the right
on
side.
the right side.
on the right side,
You've
there's
got-
nothing on that.
But you've got the plaza there, the plaza restaurant there.
No,
No,
But-
before that, before the plaza.
no, it's going behind everything.
My thought.
Behind,
It's-
like behind the confectionery.
Yes, exactly.
So-
That's how I got.
This is my thought. My thought is, it's so you guys know where Center Street is on Main Street, that little cul-de-sac area.
Yeah.
I think that's where it goes.
No, it's not. It's not enough room,
Yeah,
and there's
but-
not enough traffic because you have to understand, you're having a theater dump out people at the end of a show.
But they can dump them out through that overthrow and back them
But
behind the chapeau.
but it's much
The half
easier to put it on that street already. Why do something more? I can't
This is
picture them.
It's just a weird. It's a weird announcement to not do it at the Main Street Theater.
They can't. There's not enough
Yeah.
room at them. Here's the thing.
Well, if
True,
you get rid of Tony's and you get rid of Main Street Theater,
it's not enough space to put a true, from what it sounds like, Broadway quality show theater.
but I think
You're not just talking front of house. You also have to consider back of house.
I know, and that's
And- A lot of shit that goes on back of house.
yeah.
Maybe you guys are all thinking it's going to be bigger than it really is going to be.
No, it looks from the pictures. It looks really big.
No, but
I'm
you
thinking-
have
Really?
to.
I'm
You
thinking,
have to realize.
I'm thinking
Because
that-
they use forced perspective all the way
No.
down Main Street.
No, and there will be forced perspective doing in this. I guarantee you, the front of the building has nothing to do with the back of the building.
I'm
if
thinking it has to be at least a 5,000 to 7,500 square foot footprint.
Right, but the front of the building doesn't necessarily have to deal with the back of the building.
Right.
That's what I mean. So, I mean,
Very, very interesting announcement. But awesome. Still very, very awesome. And I'm excited for this because, like we've said, Disneyland has much better entertainment, and this could be something very huge for Disney World, for Magic Kingdom.
Okay, I pulled up a Google Earth, And it's obviously an older image because it doesn't show the new overflow path. But this is, if you look at this plot right here, I don't know if you probably can't see it because it's too bright.
No, it's...
We lost Mikey again. It's all right. He'll come back.
You can't. It's not making sense.
No. Where'd he go?
But it's actually behind the Main Street Theater that's now holding Creepy Talking Mickey. And it extends to that little cul-de-sac after the camera shop. But it's right now.
They said it's off the spoke somewhere by Future World. And I remember reading
Tomorrowland.
that. So
that's
Tomorrowland. I'm sorry.
Right now, that's the backstage area.
Right. So what they're going to do is you're going to have your fake facade.
Yeah.
And the actual theater. It's the same thing in Disneyland. The theater in Disneyland has a fake facade in the front, but the whole back of the house is kind of very plain.
Hold on,
I'm sorry.
No one's going to hear you here because we lost. Mikey came back on and we lost you. Okay. All right.
So as I was saying, the whole back of it is very plain, and you're lining up. It's 3 balconies. It's 2 balcony theater.
Yeah.
So I mean, to have like a fake facade, which is what it's going to be. It's going to be styled to that, but you're going to go through.
It'll be interesting. It'll be really interesting to see where they put it. But the other piece of news, and this is really interesting, we are getting the Tron ride. Disney has announced that Magic Kingdom will open an entirely new area right next to Space Mountain, and that will host the Tron Light Cycle attraction, the Power Run, the Light Cycle Power Run. We are not getting rid of Tomorrowland Speedway.
So I can still get high.
You can still get high from the diesel fumes. There's enough area right next to right next to Space Mountain to have 2 more Space Mountains, Spaceship Earth, Space Mountain, whatever. Mike, you make a T-shirt.
Here, my hot take on this news was one of the nicest things about going to eat at Chef Mickey's or whatever is you get an amazing view of Spaceship or Space Mountain from when you pull in, okay? Because you've got there's the building and then the horizon just immediately behind it is pretty much empty. Where this is going to go, you're going to get Spaceship Mirth. You're going to get Spaceship MILF. You're going to get Space Mountain with this big rip curl wave of steel and glass back there behind it. That is the Tron, light coaster thing. And it's just like,
I'm not going to lie.
I'm excited for this.
Well, to be fair, they started doing LED lighting on Spaceship Earth now. Yeah. So it's a little more colorful than it's ever. Spaceship Earth, I even fucking said it now. God damn it.
You meant.
Mission
Spaceship Mountain Earth.
Mission Spaceship Mountain Earth.
We're all talking curses.
Tron.
So, but the good news is this is awesome, right? Everyone can agree.
I'm very excited for this.
I
am extremely excited for this.
And you know what? I'm glad we're not losing the Speedway because I do like riding that with Ethan. Ethan loves that Speedway. It's
when
a great
he's
ride for
10
kids.
And he still wants to ride it, then Tom.
But I'll be honest with you. I think I rode that thing one time, and that was my first ever trip to Disney World when I was 12. I haven't rode it since.
Yeah, who doesn't love a sunburn?
I mean, sunburn, the smell.
I feel bad.
Lawnmower smell. I can get that smell cutting my grass.
I feel bad for the cast members that still have to stick around there because I'm sure they were all thinking, yes, I'm getting reassigned.
They knew. They knew. We're the idiots who didn't know.
But no, it's
yeah. I mean, trust me. If you're the cast member that's stuck, working the Speedway, you're not suiting up in the black unitard to work Tron. Yeah. Sorry, it ain't happening.
Yeah.
But so the only bad thing I will say about this is I think we're losing that walking path behind the Speedway.
Which I'm fine with that because that's where the fucking smokers go.
Yeah, well, it's also if you've been there for the Halloween party,
that's the best.
It's the best trick or treat area.
But they didn't do it the last time we went.
No,
really?
No, it wasn't there.
Oh, see, that was the best. because nobody would go there, and the cast member just literally dumped their bowl into our bag.
No, this time the sweet spot was inside Tiki Room.
Yeah.
Because people didn't know it was actually inside Tiki Room. You had to go inside Tiki Room to get the candy. So that was sweet spot this year.
4 cast members in there giving out candy.
Yeah.
My thing is, are they going to have the Tron costumes going to have EL tape?
Oh, because if they,
I think so. I'm sure.
Oh, that would be the kicker for
I'm
me.
sure they will. This is going to open. It looks like just in time for the 50th anniversary, which
there was. They said it's on target to open. I think is what they said.
Which means they're basically going to work round the clock to get this ready. This
which
is a
means
big project.
Which means we'll be lucky if it opens by then. To be honest.
So plan on this on October 1st, 2021. It's otherwise it's probably not going to be on time.
They have to. There's no way they can't.
Oh, I know. There
is. Because they have enough going into the other parks right now to deal with
Disney has taken a big bite at the apple here.
Mm-hmm.
They have bit off a lot. Hopefully they can chew it all.
They can't fuck it up.
Yeah.
They can't afford to.
Couple of transportation systems coming in. Gondolas are confirmed, just like we've talked about. We knew these were coming for a while.
Skyliner.
The Skyliner. What is interesting is he's coming back. What's interesting is that they have announced that these are going to wrap. They're going to have wraps on these.
Yes, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm totally.
It looks good.
Hang on, Adam, 1 second. I'm going to lose you here for just a second. All right. And we're going with a lot of technical difficulties with Mikey cutting in and out.
He gets better signal in his garage than he does in his bedroom.
The Skyliner. Look, we hate it. We're gonna end up on it sometime. I'm sure we'll end.
I'm indifferent. I'm not gonna lie. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I'm just somewhere. It's another fucking mode of transportation. Let's call it what it is. I don't like it. It is what it is.
To me, I'd rather have them fix the monorail.
Yeah, whenever they can't. They believe me. I'm sure they want to, but there's a reason why not, and there's a reason why they can't, and we just don't know what is.
Yeah. But it'll be interesting to see what happens with this next one is the minivans. Luckily, we do know there are not going to be giant ears and bows on these cars. I think that
Honda probably would prefer.
Yeah, like Honda would prefer, but these are going to be just pink and reddish pink polka dot minivans that it will
and SUVs.
Yeah, SUVs that will take guests around anywhere on Disney property for what seems like, they didn't say the fee, but it seems like it's going to be a flat fee. So
it's got to be uber competitive because if not, then we're just going to keep calling it.
It doesn't have to be uber competitive because what they can do is institute this and kick Uber out. It's that simple. It doesn't. Everybody says, "Oh, it's Uber or it's Lyft." You know what? At the end of the day, there are plenty of airports that don't allow them in.
I think what really hurts.
There are some cities that don't allow Uber.
What really
hurts,
the company that's actually really getting hurt is Mears, the taxi company. I think these are going to be. I think the taxis will still be there, but who's going to take a $25 taxi or $20 taxi ride across Disney World when you can take a $15 minivan and get there the same?
But at the end of the day, most of the time, the Mears money is the buses.
Yeah.
The Mears money, they're not. At the end of the day, Mears makes money off of the contracts they have with Disney. They're not making it off of the average passenger who's actually calling a taxi when calling Uber is cheaper.
Right.
Yeah. Why don't you guys? I got to run upstairs real quick. Why don't you guys hang tight? Talk about. Let's talk. Why don't you guys start on the Make Epcot Great Again?
All right, fair enough.
I'll run through the whole Epcot before you get back downstairs.
No,
I will.
There's plenty of time. All right, I'll be right back.
All right.
We lost Mikey too.
Yeah, we lost everybody. It's just you and me. And we're not even paying attention to the YouTube channel, so I have no idea.
It's the TNA show. Yeah, I keep logging in and it won't let me.
Well, that almost crashed this computer when I do it. So, yes, let's talk about what wasn't announced. Find that more interesting than what was announced, at least since the two of us. What was glaringly missing, in my opinion, was the announcement of a new country.
Yeah, they didn't announce any new countries.
And it was heavily rumored that we were going to get a new country. Oh, and now Mikey's back.
Mikey's back.
Yeah, but then I'm not on. Because everything gets all fucked up when he comes back in.
Yeah, and Scott had to go upstairs. And I just got your message, Mikey, that said your computer no longer sees your network or acknowledges it has a Wi-Fi adapter.
I'm not even sure if anybody can hear. This is a hot mess.
This is a fucking hot mess. This is all Scott. Scott wanted to do it live tonight. Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Do it live, and we get technical difficulties. And I don't think anybody can hear me or see me anymore, so.
Hi, Adam.
Yeah,
no, you can, but like on the
live feed.
I'm
live feed.
Anyway, they're watching
a good computer for this shit, and I can't even stay connected to my router at this point.
Is there something wrong with your router?
No, and what's weird is everything you're outputting to me gets repeated. Like after a half a second, everything you say gets doubled up.
Same thing is happening to me too.
Is it on me?
It's
only me though, or is it everybody?
Just you.
It's only been you.
Awesome.
We only have 5 people watching.
Yeah, this has been a fucking nightmare.
No, blame Scott.
On my end.
Idea.
I think it's funny when I pull up our YouTube feed. These suggested videos to watch are all about bourbon and scotch and whiskey.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it won't let me subscribe or anything. Because it wants me to sign in. And I don't know my YouTube sign-in shit.
I'm trying to get there. It's going to take me about 20 minutes. I didn't even see where the link is.
It's on a group page. But I tried to find it through the YouTube app.
Where on the group page?
The post that Scott put up with the logo.
It's so far down at this point.
It is so far down because every time I pull up our group page, it's a picture of Nesbitt's boobs in the shower.
Oh, here it is. I got it. Oh, that's the old one.
So did Scott run off now that I'm back?
He said he went upstairs.
Okay, you can see me, but I don't know if you can hear me. All right, so you can hear me.
All right. I was able to pull it up on the actual app.
Okay, I need to shut this down.
So,
you're on to Epcot.
All right,
fuck good. Some Figment.
Yeah, Figment gets fucked. Which we just talk about. The biggest news is the anti-news, which is the omission of any news of any added countries in World Showcase.
That's true.
Which was the biggest rumors that were going around for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
I mean, they confirmed Ratatouille.
Which takes up one of the empty slots that would have been available for an extra country, because it's going in between France and Morocco.
It's not going in back like kind of behind France?
No, in between.
No,
okay.
no.
It's going in between. And Bob Chapek said it's a whole new attraction, so it's not going to be a copy of the Paris ride. So
Yeah, because usually when they sit there and they say it's going to be a copy, they'll tell you, oh, this is coming over like they did for the, what was it, the 30th? Or
what's what they did for Soarin'?
Right, but I don't remember what celebration that was that they did that.
Disneyland's
It was so the 50th, they brought over all those rides, and they said, oh, from Paris we're getting Lights Motor Action.
Right, exactly.
So
they advertised this as a complete, total new attraction.
All right, hold on, guys. 1 second. Let me fix the windows here. All right.
I gotta be honest. I don't know how much longer my computer can hang with you guys. I don't. This is so stupid right now. This is my good computer that I do all my Photoshop and video editing on, and it's just.
We were just saying you had better.
It's 30 feet from my Wi-Fi router, and I can't even stay connected.
Sorry, I got
fucking Linux.
Got a sick kid upstairs. He's not feeling good tonight.
I know we heard the baby monitor go off.
All right. He's laying with his mother, so hopefully he'll feel better soon. What'd you guys get through?
We're just talking about the absence of what was not announced.
Yeah. No new country.
I'm kind of shocked.
Everybody was.
No new country. Really?
Because the heavy rumors were Spain.
2 new countries were supposed to be announced.
And a Western European country.
Mm-hmm. And also, you know what else wasn't announced? Anything for England.
Yeah, the Mary Poppins ride was... And honestly, I think you know, like we talked about right before I left, Disney has bit off a lot, and they are going to struggle to get everything ready for 2021.
Yeah.
So I think that they said this can be maybe phase 2 of the Make Epcot Great Again.
Exactly.
It's going to be an awkward time period from now until 2021. It's going to be Epcot's, it's going to be Walt Disney World's pre-teen years.
Yeah.
Well, I
think you'll see all
they're
of these
not
come
changing
about.
that much. Oh.
I think you'll see all of these come about for 2025. You know,
maybe the new land.
Yeah.
But I mean, with them closing everything,
it's going to be
let's just say it. Ellen's closed as of next month.
So okay, so on August 13, you know, again, this is the magic drop dead. I think this is their drop dead date to get things ready for 2021. Ellen's will be closed. I'm a little sad because I do have a soft spot for Ellen's Energy Adventure.
So do I.
And I
have a soft spot for Ellen.
I won't get to ride it again, but it will live on in YouTube and DCOT Disney Audio history.
You can always go ride the Nemo ride to get some Dory.
That's true.
At the end of the day, if I wanted to take a nap, I'd go to my bed.
True. Now, what we do have announced is a Guardians of the Galaxy inspired attraction. That's it.
It's shocking the shit out of me because I don't know how you're getting away with that.
Me either.
This and it's going to be interesting.
I think part of the Marvel contract.
They're pushing the Marvel contract. Whether or not this changes their plans to have them in the Avengers in 2019.
I think they already started filming, though. I don't know how.
The trailer for Infinity War opens with Thor smacking the spaceship that the Guardians ride around in. Like, that's how the trailer opens up.
They can always recut trailers, though.
Yeah, there's been a bunch of trailers where stuff doesn't make it in.
Yeah.
Sure. But
what, you know, again, this was a for something that's closing now, you know, like Great Movie Ride, where they pretty much announced what was going into the Mickey ride. There is very little detail about this, which is interesting.
I want to make sure that, you know, they don't steal our ideas.
True.
They want to make sure that they can get
the
away
Hero
with
6
it.
attraction.
Yeah. I think that at this time, we're waiting to see what Universal's answer is to the announcement.
Now, every one of our listeners, and you guys know I don't have a great affinity for the Guardians of the Galaxy. I think it worked well with the Mission Breakout at Tower of Terror in Disneyland. I think it worked fine. My cousin is a big fan of that ride for the fact that he designed a lot of it. To me, this is where it got off track, and this is where I hated it, is that they showed a Photoshop picture of Peter Quill, a young Peter Quill.
I thought it was funny.
I think
it's the Spaceship Earth.
To me, I think it's pushing this too fast. They're trying really hard. I know.
It was a joke.
I know.
You're reading. I think you're reading too much into it, Scott. I think it was meant to be a joke. It was just meant to be funny because at the end of the day, you have to break up all the announcements with some cheesy bullshit.
To me, it just seems like they're really pushing this hard to get Guardians into the parks. because it's the only Marvel franchise I think they can make their way into the parks. We lost Mikey again.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second.
I get what.
1 second. And go.
I get why they're doing it.
I get it. It's a very Mission Breakout was a tremendous success.
It was huge.
Oh yeah, it's huge success.
Like compared, it's one of the most It is the most popular ride, right? Popular attraction in Disneyland right now. They announced it.
It was very successful, so I get why they're doing it.
I just don't get how.
I'm sure I'll like it, and I'm sure that they've... Look, you and I may never hear about it, but maybe there was a nice little payoff to...
There's something.
For one, I'm sure that Disney has the capability to go to Marvel and say, hey, look, we want one thing in here. Give us Guardians and we'll give you X dollars.
Well, and I took a second to think about this. And I brought this up while we were watching some of this stuff. What's going to happen when Disneyland opens up its area? And it's no longer to the standards of Marvel, the attraction Universal has.
Well, that's...
That makes that a deal breaker. Because if according to the verbiage that you read in that contract, Disney now has an out.
Yeah.
Because my rides are better than your rides, and you're not keeping up with that standard.
Good point. Very good point. Because what we know of the Marvel contract is that Disney can require the maintenance to be a first-class attraction. And if Disney is putting first-class attractions and says to Universal, this is what we have. You have the obligation, the contractual obligation to do that. Here's your drop-dead date. You must do it by X date.
Or your contract is terminated. I think they did this very smartly.
Very smartly. Look, Disney has the best lawyers.
And and I'm the Jew who looks at this and says, "Hey, wait a second. This is what they're doing?" I think Universal has a little bit of fear right now.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they
do. They're shaking their boots.
So I don't think Universal's in a position to sit there and say, as successful as freaking a refurbished ride. Let's call it what it is. It's a refurbished, rethemed attraction.
Yeah.
That really just added, plussed it up a little bit with characters.
Yeah.
Universal might be taking a hard look that their roller coasters are not enough.
And you're right. Look, and Universal may say, you know what? It's not worth us being required to spend X amount of dollars because, look, people are coming to Universal for Potter. That's first and foremost. There are other rides, they do well, but, the Hulk coaster and all the Spider-Man attraction. Honestly, if Universal says, is it worth us to have this and to spend millions and millions of dollars to upgrade these rides? Why not just let them go and we'll rebrand them to something Universal that we actually own and we can tie into our own property?
Hello, Nintendo Land.
Follow Nintendo Land. There you go. So, very, very interesting announcement. And something that not everyone's talking about is how do we get Guardians in the park? And this is a good way to get them in and keep them in forever. And then if that happens, and if this plays out, enter Captain America, Thor, Iron Man.
Oh yeah, it's just a matter of time before this contract falls apart. They know what they're doing. They have this going in. They also have land in Shanghai. They have the hotel going in Paris.
Yeah,
there's a whole bunch of announcements that it's going to put Universal behind the 8 ball on this contract to keep up.
So let's briefly touch upon the Paris announcement. Disney's Paris Hotel New York will be reimagined and feature a really, really cool Art Deco theme to kind of a 1920s, 1930s New York with Howard Stark and Tony Stark kind of merged into one. It's going to be a complete Marvel Avengers immersion into that hotel. I've been inside the hotel. I didn't stay there. It's a nice hotel. But this is going to plus that up just a little bit better.
Well, from what I read, it's just going to be like almost like a museum quality exhibit, which is
gallery.
okay.
Yeah.
It's not as immersive. It's not as immersive as I would like.
Yeah.
I'm honest. I don't another Hollywood Studios display case of superheroes.
Yeah.
I would much prefer it to be more immersive. But you know what? It is what it is, and this is what we're doing with properties. We're creating hotels. You need to step up your game.
Yeah.
Or you're losing this contract.
Absolutely. I think that's a great point, Adam. Disney's basically pushing Marvel or pushing Universal to their breaking point. Do you want to spend money promoting our brand?
But it's not even our brand. Do you want to be breach of contract?
Yeah.
Because then the contract's null and void.
Well, it's either they're saying to Universal, spend millions, if not billions, to upgrade your park to feature our brand, or lose it altogether. Very smart move. Very smart move. Congrats. From one legal mind to the next, congrats, Disney lawyers. You did well. You found the loophole.
Yep, that's it. And that's all it was.
Speaking of France, France is going to get a ride. We are adding an attraction to World Showcase for the first time since 1986 when Maelstrom opened.
Yeah.
Disney will be bringing over the Ratatouille-inspired attraction.
Well, no, they didn't say they were bringing it over. They said it's going to be an all new, all new attraction.
So, they're bringing over the ride system, and you're going to have a new.
They didn't say that either.
Didn't say that either.
Well, I mean,
they said it's an all new ride.
Rob Chapek said it's an all new ride.
Really?
Yes, he did. They did not say they were porting over the exact same ride.
So, well, no, it's not going to be the exact same because it's going to go through more of just Gusteau's restaurant rather than through Paris, because the ride in Paris goes through Paris and through the scenes. But this is going to be a chase across the kitchen with sights, sounds, smells of Gusteau's legendary Parisian restaurant.
I think the only similarity is going to be a trackless.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a trackless ride system. Similar. It's going to be similar. I don't know if you'll be in the same mouse car that they have in Paris, but it'll be a trackless ride system where you go through a 4D attraction with the screens and the effects around you, the smells. I'm very excited for this. I've watched the Ratatouille ride a lot. I like it. I'm excited for it. Tim and Adam, you discussed on Mouscellaneous, which is a show you guys co-host with Kate Smith, the possibility of maybe retheming Chefs de France. It doesn't sound like that's going to happen.
No, not anymore.
No, not anymore.
And they wouldn't add. They're not going to add another restaurant to this pavilion because
no, it doesn't make sense.
The only reason why we said that is because they did for a while have a Remy animatronic in Chefs.
And I want to say in Paris, it's connected to the restaurant.
When you leave the ride, it's not as much of a sit down. It's more of a quick service, and it's sort of like you're at your rat size, and there's like things to sit on, like thimbles and stuff. It's pretty cool restaurant.
Yeah, I can't picture them getting rid of that pastry shop in Paris in France for that.
No, because that's a really good pastry shop. Have you guys eaten there?
Oh yes, we ate there the first time this last trip, and my god, those macarons.
Yeah,
the
macarons are good. The croissants are good.
The key lime tart.
Yeah.
It was just everything was yummy.
It's so good.
I've spent a little bit of time in Paris. I've spent about a total of over 2 trips. I've spent 7 days there. And one of my favorite things about Parisian food is the saucisson sandwiches, which are basically a French sausage with brie cheese and butter on a French baguette. And if you go into Paris, they're everywhere. They're amazing. They toast them up. They're so good. This place does those just like that. It is amazing. And the saucisson sandwiches over at Boulangerie de Paris are awesome. So I don't think they'll get rid of anything to add in that restaurant. You're right. But no, it's nice. It'll be nice to have another attraction there.
Oh, without a doubt. You know what? The other thing that wasn't announced that I'm thinking about it is that they're getting rid of Legal Legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't
realize
realize
all
that.
the tombstones out.
They didn't say anything about the retheming of the front of the park, and that would have been a big.
But we've seen concept drawings for it from Disney.
So. Oh yeah, without a doubt. But there was nothing actually said.
I don't. Yeah. I know. Go ahead, Tim.
The funny thing is, as I mentioned this to Adam before, when we were watching all of the D23 footage, is that all the new concept drawings of Epcot and Future World, there's a fucking shit ton more trees.
Yes, yeah.
Well, in the new concept drawing.
It needs some shade. I mean, Epcot is not a shady place.
Oh, yeah. No, it's not.
I mean,
so I think
it's pretty open.
I think more.
There was a lot of
Future World is going to be shut down within the next few years. Well, we know the whole corner where
it's not.
Well, speaking of Future World getting shut down, parts of it, Epcot's getting an out of this world showcase.
Restaurant.
Right.
Restaurant.
I was playing on words there. So Disney announced also at D23 that Epcot is going to open up a Mission Space restaurant nearby Mission Space. Now, they didn't say where.
I'm thinking adjacent to is what they said.
Adjacent to, which I'm thinking they're taking over. No,
Odyssey is
nowhere near it. I think it's going to be the festival building, which is the old
Wonders of Life Pavilion.
Wonders of Life Pavilion.
Wonders of Life Pavilion is going away between the expansion of whatever Elon's Energy Adventure is going to turn into and the restaurant. I think that whole property is getting split in half.
And logistically, that makes sense because they can just shut that whole corner of the park off and
do whatever they need to do.
No, they could, and that's now that you mention it, that's probably where it's going to go. But you know what? You guys have been there for Food and Wine. You guys have been there for Flower and Garden. That's a big space to lose for promotions and stuff.
But at the end of the day, it's a lot of negative space.
And you're right, because when we went in there to go buy the Tervis tumblers for Flower and Garden, it was, it was 2:00. It was empty.
It's a lot of negative space the things that were missing, and hear me out, the things that were missing, what's going in interventions?
They haven't talked anything about it.
But that makes sense to me. A better festival center because it's more centrally located.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
And that's where we bought all our Flower and Garden shit was from Interventions.
Now
right. I mean, imagine taking all the crap out of Interventions. That's more than enough to fill up everything that they put in Wonders of Life.
Oh, absolutely.
Now there is some space between Mission Space and Test Track behind Mission Space that they could use that would house a sizable restaurant. Because
why would you put a restaurant that far back? It doesn't make sense.
Well, what you would do is you would have you'd have a walking path to this area, and then again, this restaurant. If you've seen if you saw the artist,
it's another LED screen thing.
It's going to be the Star Wars Hotel technology that they'll open up, and it's going to be completely LED around you. It's going to look like you're in space. I imagine what they'll do is, you guys remember when you walk in the ballroom at Be Our Guest and you see the kind of that back wall with the stars,
the snow.
The stars and the snow. That's probably what they'll do. Is I don't think the entire the entire wall will be LED, but what they'll do is they'll have a facade with stars, and they'll have things that can projection map onto that wall.
Oh, without a doubt.
That way it's big enough because this is going to be. It seems like it's going to be a round restaurant where every view has a view of space.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I got from it. The only other thing I got from it, and I don't know how many people have read this book, but I was also thinking the restaurant at the end of the universe by Douglas Adams is part of the Hitchhiker's Guide series. And that's kind of like it's where my brain automatically went. And
but it looks really cool. It looks awesome. The concept art looked really cool. I'm very excited for that one too.
People are just saying that Adam is breaking up. His audio is choppy.
It's a little choppy, and I just think that's a connection issue.
Probably is. I'm sorry.
Well, you just listen to the show when we post it on.
Yeah, download and listen because it'll sound better.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's the first. This is going to be the first restaurant to open up in World Showcase since park opening.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh.
You know,
Wow.
you don't think about that, but Electric Umbrella was park opening.
They closed more than they opened.
Yeah.
Epcot had the Sunshine Tree or Sunshine Seasons, the one over in the land, and I mean,
Tim,
technically
shut down your YouTube feed because that kills our bandwidth.
Oh, maybe that's it.
All right. But it was happening before I had the YouTube feed up.
Oh, this is the first I've heard of it.
Oh, maybe. But they have closed down the Odyssey, and you know that's another thing. I'm kind of surprised we're getting to the 50th and still nothing new at the Odyssey. I think, and again, you know,
the Odyssey works perfect as the beer place, though.
Well, also,
but
they rent that out for weddings and stuff.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
can
you
make
still
that
have
into
to.
Yeah,
permanent craft beer
yeah.
restaurant.
I mean,
and I would love it.
Now, here's the thing that I find a little bit more interesting that wasn't announced. Again, we didn't have announcement for a new nighttime show at Epcot.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, there was a lot that I noticed that was like, all right, Siemens is no longer sponsoring Epcot. What's coming next kind of situation? And nothing.
Well, that was a key thing for me. There was a lot of sponsorship drops. Siemens is not sponsoring Spaceship Earth or Illuminations anymore.
Nope.
Chase is no longer sponsoring Food and Wine.
No, but Chase still stays in the game a little bit. It's kind of weird that they don't sponsor Food and Wine, which would be their premier event. I would assume.
But to be fair, with all the construction that's going to probably happening, well, a lot of these spaces that Chase used are not available anymore.
True, very true. I mean, very interesting because Chase still partners with Disney for a lot of their banking and stuff, and we have Chase Disney cards, we have Chase Disney debit cards,
Right.
And those
we have the Chase Visa.
And those are still sticking around. There's no mention of the meet and greet leaving, so I don't know if it's just Chase scaling back for the time being to kind of say, well, hold on, let's see where things are going, and maybe we reevaluate or maybe we re-up later, because Tim, we talked about this in one of the Facebook comment sections. I had asked you what was GM's role with Test Track. What was their contract? And you said the last you could find was a 10-year, $12 million a year deal. But it was
a 2012. Well, it didn't say the year. It just said in 2012 They signed a $100 million contract.
But from what I read later on, I looked it up later. Short-term contracts, renewable. So GM is going to short-term contracts. I think that a lot of these companies want to see where Epcot's going before they commit big money down the road, because they're not sure what's going on.
Right. But at the end of the day,
which is understandable because Epcot is probably the park that's in the most limbo right now.
But at the end of the day, does Disney still need all these corporate sponsorships?
I think they do, because at the end of the day, that brings in a good chunk of change. It's like, in 1964. Walt made so many advancements in his technology because he had corporate money to play with. At the World's Fair.
One of the biggest.
GE was one of those.
But he needed that corporate money.
Oh, I know. But
at the end of the day, wouldn't it be easier for Disney to say, "Fuck all y'all, this is my shit," and we've seen it with Paris.
Yeah.
No, but right now with Euro Disney, where they're fucking. Epcot, but when they're buying back shares to get more control over things, there's a reason why these... Well, you know what? You sponsor Spaceship Earth, so you're paying for that refurbishment. If they say no, and you're still under contract, then what do you do?
No, I totally agree. I mean, I think that Disney doesn't need the sponsorships, but it's free money for them.
It helps.
So, yeah, it helps.
It helps.
It helps.
But for me, the way I look at it is, especially in the case of Epcot, from the very beginning, Epcot was a showcase of technology.
Yeah.
And advancement in technology, and it always was sponsored by technology corporations.
Yeah.
But that idea is going away.
A little bit, a little bit,
a lot of it,
a little bit each here and there. And you're right. Tim's right. Tim's right. It shouldn't go away, but unfortunately, it kind of is.
But it's not but it's not just on Disney's end. These corporations are not willing to invest in these things anymore.
Right. Well, I think it's just they need to look into different corporations that are more relevant and
nobody
more future.
Needs it though. It doesn't really. At the end of the day, it doesn't benefit them as much as it used to.
Right.
There's nothing. Anybody can look up anything on the internet nowadays. There's no benefit to sponsoring something anymore unless you're a big bank who can have the disposable income to throw at this.
See, I see it differently because I'm an engineering and a fucking tech group like nerd. So I would love to see something sponsored by somebody like Tesla or another big future tech company.
All right.
I mean,
so
I think.
But who did some of all thrills? Can you tell me it?
Some of all thrills was Intel, wasn't it?
I'm just asking because that's the point. That's
I think it was Intel.
It was something with math and all this other stuff.
I mean,
but
the one thing I remember Siemens because they talk about it, they tell you about it, and Siemens are major. These were major attractions. Some of all
what does Siemens do?
Away.
Oh, it was Raytheon.
Siemens isn't. You know what? This is really awful because my dad works for Siemens.
but this is you're making my points for
wait. Your dad works for Siemens?
Yes.
And you couldn't get us into the Siemens Lounge?
Well, he's an independent contractor for them.
Yeah, but what do they do?
They do IT stuff.
But that's it. That's it. Stop. Because if you don't know and your brother actually works from them.
No, my dad.
I know they sponsor Spaceship Earth.
Yes.
After that, fuck all. I don't know what the hell they are.
Well, they sponsor Real Madrid for a while.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean anything to me.
I know.
And that's why these corporate sponsorships are dying.
Well, because
as a whole,
and I think another reason for the corporate sponsor was to bring corporate outings to the parks, and I think that maybe you're right. Disney's not seeing giant Siemens. That's terrible.
Giant Siemens. Wonders of life all over again.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
Making of me.
Like you said, Siemens pulled a sponsorship. So what does that mean for Spaceship Earth?
Yeah.
And what does that mean for the Siemens Lounge?
I mean,
it doesn't mean anything. Because at the end of the day, how long did Norway survive without a sponsor? Like, Norway wasn't giving Disney money anymore for a very long period of time before it went to Frozen.
Someone will come in and sponsor those. They will find someone new, and it'll be.
It's just a matter of time.
It'll be a non sequitur.
All right, it's just a matter of time. But what's the point if they're not getting? It's basically for advertisement, and if they're not getting their point across, why keep it?
I agree.
It doesn't make business sense.
No, true. Disney doesn't need it, so we'll see. But we do know that it was announced that the Patina Restaurant Group will operate this new restaurant. They have other restaurants in Disney World, Tutto Italia, which I love, Via Napoli, which is really good, Morimoto Asia, which people rave about. I've yet to go there, but everyone raves about it. Via Napoli's good. It's good. It's the best pizza you're going to find in Orlando.
I like Via Napoli a lot.
I like Via Napoli pizza, and I love Tutto Italia too.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Tutto Italia, super underrated.
Love Tutto Italia. The people there,
the service.
It was just really yummy.
I'll tell you what. We have a kid with food allergies. They brought out dessert. They brought out Andrew's dessert. It had a hazelnut swizzle stick in it. The guy puts it down. He's like, "Wait a minute, hold on, I got to take this back." And they brought back one without it and just completely made a whole new dessert. Tutto Italia, highly underrated. It is one of our go-to restaurants almost every trip.
It's really good.
Really good.
It is a really good food.
Yeah. But I'm excited for this one. This one looks like a good new restaurant. So, unfortunately that was it for Epcot. like you guys, I'm sure talked about when I was away. No change to Figment. No,
There's a lot missing. There's a
lot
lot
omitted.
and I think like we
no
talked
touch
about,
to the seas,
I,
which needs help.
yeah, we did a whole.
The only
episode
ones
on it.
the coral reef is going under a 2-day refurbishment, which is probably just a deep cleaning.
Yeah, deep cleaning.
But, I mean, it needs help. I mean,
I think
as much as I love Soarin', that building can use some updating.
Yeah, so it doesn't smell like pepperoni pizza.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, there was a lot. As much as we heard, there's a lot more that we didn't.
Circle of Life Theater wasn't touched. It's
there's a lot of misses here, in my opinion.
It really is.
Well, I'm sure they're not going to play all their cards.
They can't.
It's going to be
no, and I get that, but I mean, they have to have something to talk about in 2 years with the next D23. To be fair,
and look, there's plenty of time. And look, the 50th anniversary is still 4 years away. Minor changes to the Circle of Life Theater can wait until 2020. I mean, for God's sakes, it can wait till 2020 for them to insert a new film for that.
They can announce it January of 2021 for all that matters. Because
you know what? To be fair, I'd like more little surprises.
Yeah.
And sort of like what they did when they put the Three Caballeros in Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just all of a sudden. No, but all of a sudden nobody knew about it, and then all of a sudden, bam! You got 3 animatronics in there that nobody knew was coming.
Right.
That was awesome.
And look, those can still be on the way. And look, you don't want to blow your load on one night, right?
Oh.
So, plenty still to do at Epcot. But this is a step in the right direction. It really is. All the changes to Epcot seem for the better. Seem to want to make Epcot great again. I'm excited. I'm really excited for what's happening with the Disney company and specifically Walt Disney World in the next 4 years. Looks like a very bold plan. I mean, we are entering a second Disney decade here, and
we have to.
And we're not, it's not said, but we're adding not one but 2 new resorts. The Caribbean Beach is getting a complete tower. We talked about it. Finally announced. It is DVC only. It is a 300-room tower for a moderate resort, which is a huge step. This is
here's the thing with that. I just want to eat at that freaking rooftop restaurant to watch the damn shows. You know what? You make that DVC exclusive, people will be throwing their money at them.
And I don't think I don't think you need to even make it DVC exclusive. If you just make that Look, we watched both Illuminations and Star Wars fireworks from Boardwalk, and it was awesome. Can you imagine being 15 stories up and watching both of those shows at once? A 360 degree.
But I have a feeling it's going to be a DVC exclusive.
Even if it's not,
there's something in.
Even if it's not, that place is a 180 day announcement, like a 180 day booking every single for the next 10 years. I mean,
but that's why they'll make it DVC exclusive. That's why. What is it called? Top of the World Lounge is DVC exclusive.
Yeah, but that's just a lounge. If you do that for a restaurant, it's going to be a California Grill. This is the new California Grill. It's going to be the new California Grill.
They never said what level was.
No, but I imagine it'll be on the top level because you're talking. Even if
it's rooftop dining.
Yeah.
So you have to be kind of careful.
It's gonna be 2 credit.
It's either going to be because. Well, to be fair though, if it's true rooftop dining, it might be just kind of less than what we're thinking it's going to be, because you're having a lot of wind. You're having a lot of closures.
Well, I think what you're going to do is they're going to have I think it's going to be very similar to what they have at California Grill. There's going to be an indoor dining room and a rooftop dining section.
That's not what they're saying.
I know there
is no roof. There's no true rooftop dining in California Grill. You can go out onto the roof to watch the fireworks.
And if you've
but there are no tables out there.
No, but I think what they'll do is they'll only open it on decent nights where there's not too much wind.
But that's why you couldn't make it a 2 credit meal. because you're losing a shit ton of money if that restaurant has to close at night.
Well, from the size of the building that was announced, it looks like they could house a huge dining room inside with windows, and then also go outside when the weather is suitable.
Right, but it for me, rooftop dining means kind of exactly that. You're dining on the roof. There's no enclosure.
Well, you're technically dining on the roof at California Grill. You're on the top floor.
No, but there's another level, which is the roof.
Maybe. This one.
I mean, that's just the way I look at it.
This one has to be fleshed out, but it's a great announcement.
I can definitely see it, a high-end counter service meal. I can see it. Yeah. It's because they didn't actually define what it was. Yeah. They just said restaurant.
No, they did. It was very vague, but we do know it is going to go in the place of the area that they've demolished at Caribbean Beach. So it will be a Caribbean Beach. It will be part. It will. This is the interesting part. It's not part of Caribbean Beach. It's its own resort on Caribbean Beach property. So they've actually
trying to figure out how that's going to work.
Caribbean Beach.
Yeah. So you will have your own lobby, your own entrance. It's not It's not like the cabins at Copper Creek at Wilderness Lodge, where you check in at Wilderness Lodge and then go over to Copper Creek. It's totally different.
To be fair, most of the DVCs are like that, though. If you've ever stayed at Kidani Village
or Bay Lake,
but what I think it's
or Bay Lake Tower,
but
those are totally separate.
But what I think this is setting up is for them to build on to other moderate resorts.
Right. There's going to be different price points for DVC
I think you will. I think you will see one at the Port Orleans, both French Quarter and Riverside.
Where though?
They have room for them. They have plenty of room for them. Those are open area. They could build onto those.
Well, not French Quarter, I don't think. There's not much. French Quarter is very small.
No, the French Quarter is very small, but there's still room. But
you have to be careful because then you have to extend transportation to those resorts.
Across the river, there is the old Osprey Ridge Golf Course that's gone. That has been gotten
That's why they. But the reason why they the Skyway is because of the transportation.
Right.
The thing about the DVC is that it usually has either it's very close to or has special transportation to get there. What I can see happening, which is going to fuck up a lot of people, is Pop Century.
Part of this.
I can see that getting a DVC Resorts before another.
Which will be really interesting because now you're going on a value DVC, and again, not announced, but where do they go with the points? Where do they go with the price point on the
Well, here's the fun with this. If they make it, because it looks beautiful. It looks very high-end and upscale. So if they take that theme and they just kind of tack it on in the back, where they have all this existing framework already set up, it's a smart way to do it.
It reminds me, honestly, of the Gaylord Palms resort in Orlando, which is a huge convention center.
Exactly.
So
I mean, they've already figured a way to keep you out of the pool.
Yeah.
With the Magic Bands, there's more to the Magic Bands than you realize. So,
our last bit of news is one not Disney parks, but something that the five of us are now kind of venturing into. Disney Cruise Lines has announced not one. I'm going LeBron here. Not one, not two, but 3 new ships to be built by the end of 2023.
Well, to be fair, they just added one.
Right, they announced
the other two prior.
They had announced them and said they were building them prior, but they have now essentially almost doubled their fleet of ships in the next 6 years. It's a testament to what Disney Cruise Lines has become, what they're doing with the cruise lines. Building 2 new ships is a huge undertaking. But building 3, all at the same Meyer Werft shipyard in Germany. One will be done in 2021. one will be done in 2022, and one will be done in 2023. So 3 straight years they're going to add a completely new ship. They are Bob Chapek, the chairman of Walt Disney Parks and Resorts, said these are not, 2 ships was not big enough to hold what they want to do, and that they're gonna expand totally immersive Disney storytelling, world class entertainment. These are going to be the biggest ships they've ever built. 135 gross tons each, 1,250 staterooms planned, which is slightly larger than the newest Disney Cruise Line ships, the Dream and the Fantasy. So, very big announcement for the Disney Cruise Line brand.
Yeah. Hey, Disney Cruise Line, I want a drink package.
Yes. Needs to happen. Because, we were looking into an upcoming cruise, and the fact that you can't get an all-inclusive Disney drink package, and you can buy 3 bottles of wine to have brought to your room during the trip, just doesn't cut it. You got to go all-inclusive here. No,
to be fair, a lot of cruise lines have gotten away from true all-inclusiveness, but I need a drink package. I don't mind paying extra for it. Just let me have option. And I understand it's Disney, I understand it's family, and it goes against a lot of what people are getting drunk anyway.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. So we were, Andrew and I have been looking into the cruise. The prices for alcohol, like compared to Disney World, are like half the price. It's amazing.
Yeah, but the problem is that you're a captive audience.
Oh, you are, and look, you're definitely gonna need to bring some money on board these cruises to accommodate for alcohol.
Whereas some of your other cruise lines, you might pay $300 and you're covered the whole trip.
Or it's part of your ticket where you have. No. Well, no, because like Norwegian Cruise Lines has a drink package where you get drinks with dinner and you get inclusive drinks at a certain bar.
Don't do Norwegian Cruise Line.
Well, I know. I'm just saying, but there are. Like, Royal Caribbean has a drink package,
right?
You get drinks.
Yeah, you get what you pay for a lot of these times. It's a lot of these cruises, and region is not. If you're using Disney, you're not going to enjoy region. But
look,
I can't.
Look,
I would like more options on my Disney.
Disney caters to a different audience than Princess, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian.
Well, each cruise line has their niche.
Yeah.
And to sit there and say that Disney Cruise Line caters more, Royal Caribbean caters to families too.
They do.
And it's more of the older kids at Royal Caribbean.
Yeah.
Where that's what they're looking at there. And I don't see what the negative is of having a drink package.
And I'm not saying like all you can drink, but at least like have where you can get 2 to 3 drinks per night per person. I mean, that's not going to
give me a wine package at my table with dinner.
Yeah. Wine included with dinner. Something like that. Look, Disney can do better with the cruises as far as service goes, but all in all, it's probably the best cruise you'll go on, I think, based on what we've seen. I'm, very excited, very excited.
Very excited.
So, lots of news this week. Lots of it's D23. Everything is big. Disney, I'll say it. Disney has put a bold statement out there today or Saturday.
I just hope they can keep it up.
I agree. It's a lot to you bit off a lot. Make sure you can chew it and don't choke. Don't choke. Tim,
I can't afford to.
Before we sign off here, Tim, what's the one announcement? Movies, parks. What are you most excited for?
Star Wars Land. Come on. You asked that question?
I saw that coming. Adam, is it Star Wars Land 2?
Actually, it's the hotel.
I know.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't care what it costs, and I even turned to Tim and I said, "Don't care what this costs. I have to do
just
this
for one night, like to spend one night, one day there.
I don't care
Yeah.
what it costs. I need to do this.
And to take the place of a park for a day, I would gladly do this, to spend one full day there. Because, like, I'm a huge Star Wars, huge Star Trek fan. To, like, if you could stay aboard the Enterprise as a Star Trek fan, if you could stay aboard the Enterprise and, like, stay in a cabin and see, like, the spaceport and see the windows, this hotel has got me feeling like a 13-year-old boy again.
I am.
It's
so
better have
excited about it.
Shiny black polished floors.
Oh yeah,
you're on.
I want a different light side and dark side.
Oh, that would be
awesome. I could destroy this in a heartbeat.
If you could, and you know what? I think we need to save this for an Armchair Imagineer show. We'll get into our version of what we would want the Star Wars hotel to be. But man, that hotel.
Can you imagine staying in like Vader's like bowl thing, like
the Vader suite? The Vader suite.
Yes.
Oh man.
I'm sorry.
Or if you could stay in like the Princess Leia's ship, or
there's so many things.
There's so many ways you could go with this.
This could be so awesome. I think that is probably the one thing I'm most excited for. But so many good things coming out of this. The Ratatouille ride, I'm excited for. The Tron Light Cycle, I'm excited for.
I'm excited for Tron. I need another big thrill ride in Magic Kingdom.
Yes,
I need
a new mountain, essentially.
I need a good thrill ride in. Oh, and we didn't talk about Mission Space.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Where it's getting a new Greenside ride.
Greenside.
Called the Mission.
Yeah.
So,
which is I'll check it out, but that's supposed to be opening really soon. I
like Mission Space, but I like the fact that they are going to make those more interactive,
family friendly,
more family friendly, but more interactive as they go along. Like I think
it's not interactive; they just changed the freaking movie.
But changing the movie makes it a little bit better. Like I love Mission Space, I really do. I love the ride, but do a few more tweaks to the missions, make them different movies. Make them more Star Tours like. So, a lot of good things came out of this. Disney is entering into a brand new era of almost the second Disney decade. We're getting into a very good era for Walt Disney World resorts and parks.
Well, to be fair, the last few D23s have been about out of country things
and movies.
And movies. It's been a long time since we've had a D23 that focused on the parks like this one did.
I don't think we've ever had one this big. Like I think this
not
is the biggest
for us.
No, not
to be fair, not for us.
Not since they
for Shanghai
and for Disney California Adventure.
Exactly.
They had big D23s. This is the biggest one for Walt Disney World. This is the biggest expansion of Walt Disney World since adding a fourth theme park in 1995 when they announced Animal Kingdom. So I think this is a good time for Disney. We're entering a brand new era of Disney dominance in Florida. We really are. So, very exciting time for Walt Disney World. And yeah. So, ordinarily, this is the part of the show where I would ask Mikey about Magical Meltdown, but Mikey has had some technical difficulties tonight.
And he gave up.
He gave up. It looks like he just said, fuck it, I'm going to bed, I'm getting drunk.
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
Screw you guys.
He took his toys and he left.
But he does have some new designs. The Tron Tomorrowland Speedway Light Cycle t-shirt.
Did he go live with that yet?
He did go live with it. Didn't he?
I don't know.
I thought I saw it. And maybe he's contemplating it. Maybe he's not.
I thought he was contemplating it. He was gauging reaction because I don't think he went live with it yet.
The best way to find out what is live, go over to our Facebook group. And I'm going to do this right now live here. We're going to do this right live. Hold on. See, Uncle Walt is watching. Magical Meltdown paraphernalia here. We're going to go to 3 Sheets Facebook group. That's facebook.com/group/3 Sheets. At the top of the page, You see a red bar there? This red bar right here? That's the Magical Meltdown link group. Head over there, and there's a Shop Now button. You can go right to themagicalmeltdown.com and shop for his designs. He has 49 out. We have the Purple Dragon of Imagination, the Figment Asian inspiration. Snow White pinup. That one looks awesome. I definitely got to get that one. Mickey's, back from our 4th of July episode, the Mickey military insignia, Dapper for Life. I got to get that one. That one's awesome. Droid Story's still up there. Festivals of the Lion King. Jason. Hey, Jason. There's Jason's face. There's Jason's face right there.
That shirt's not up. That's not live yet. The Tron shirt's not live yet.
No, the Tron shirt's not live. I know he's talking about it. We'll see if it comes true. The Fish Fetish T-shirt. Another Jason. Jason, you know what? I'm starting to get jealous of Jason's T-shirt collection. He's got so many inspired by Jason.
I think I have a problem with this. I only have one Festivals.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't have any shirt but our 3-sheet shirt that has our face on it. So at least you have a shirt that's inspired by you.
Tim and I have one shirt. Well, no. Technically, the Uncle Walt was my requesting that from Mikey.
Wasn't the Demi-Dad shirt your idea?
Yes, might have been. It might have been mine too.
Well, if you want to get signaled, the just Fight Like a Sith cancer shirt was.
That's you guys. That's all you guys.
Okay, so I have two.
You have two. Jason has like one. He has the
37.
Angry Mickey. Yeah, Angry Mickey. He's got two of his own Jason T-shirts. The Jason's Lament T-shirt, which is amazing. And technically, I would call the military insignia his because that was all his baby, and technically the Snow White because he went creepy. Snow White is Snow White's my gal.
Well, Mikey did design that shirt specifically for Jason.
So yeah, no, I'm getting jealous of Jason here, and the Figment's his too because my God,
It's not fair.
Yeah. So Jason, what the fuck, brother?
Well, it's not Jason's fault technically. It's Mikey creating the shirts.
Mikey, I think Mikey has a boy crush on Jason.
Well, I think he's trying to dispel the myth that they hate each other.
Yeah, probably. You're probably right.
But there are plenty of great shirts over at themagicalmeltdown.com. Plenty of new designs, some old ones. The Fish Fetish is a very fan favorite. We got some 90s Mickey ones. Armchair Imagineer, the Uncle Walt. There are plenty of designs over there. So head over to www.themagicalmeltdown.com. Go find your T-shirt that you need, that you want, that you wear in the parks, and show us. Show us that you're wearing them in the parks. Go over to facebook.com/group/3sheets and take a picture of yourself in the parks wearing your T-shirts. I know I have. Tim, Adam, Dopey loved your T-shirts. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Dopey was a fan of the 3 sheets.
If you're not wearing a 3 sheets T-shirt, a magicalmeltdown.com T-shirt in the parks, you're not doing the parks right. That's how you do them. But in order to go share those photos, head over to our Facebook group. We had a lot of new requests last night. Tim, you get props for your absolutely late night drunken post of the longest name in 3 sheets history.
Oh, yeah.
We had
her name is longer than my alcohol tolerance.
That's right. That's right. So we welcome all of our new listeners, all of our new friends to the show. We want to thank you for coming on to the show and coming and be a part of our group. We love the interaction. Our like we've talked about week in and week out, our Facebook group is one of our favorites. Probably it's the only Facebook group that I interact with on a daily basis.
Same here.
But if you like the show, the best way is to share it. Share who you're listening to. Share us on your Facebook. Share us on your Twitter. Share us on your Instagram, on your Pinterest, on your MySpace, if that's still a thing. Tell your friends about us because we want to inspire more people to come and listen and be fun about Disney parks. It's not just about drinking and getting hammered at a Disney park. It's about having fun with Disney. That's what we do. We do this because we want to have fun with Disney. Am I right?
No,
Yeah.
hell yeah, you're right.
It's all about just having fun with Disney. It's what we love. It's our favorite place in the world. It's anyone's opinions are welcome. We love the group. We love our Facebook audience. So if you want to share the group, it's facebook.com/group/3sheets. Come join us. We're also on Instagram and Twitter at 3 Sheets Podcast. We post over there. Come hang out with us over there too. Tag us in your photos. Hashtag us in your photos. Share more of whatever you're doing in the parks over on Instagram. But other than that, it's been a long night. We've had a lot of things to talk about. Mike, you wanted to limit this to an hour and a half. It's 3 hours.
It's 3 hours
And
later.
we're 3 hours in.
That was never going to happen. I told Mikey, yeah, we'll be done in an hour and a half. Don't worry about it.
No, Adam and I discussed this before we started recording. There's no way we're going to get through this in an hour and a half. No way.
No.
There was too much news. There was too much
It was
information.
a massive announcement. So, Adam, take us home.
I actually want to say thank you to everybody who listens to us. I want to say thank you for sticking with us for the past hours. If you're watching us live on YouTube right now, we truly appreciate it. With all the technical difficulties and the struggles that we have. You guys are our friends. You guys are family, and I appreciate you all. So, good night, and on to bigger and better things with Disney.
Yeah. Tim.
The one thing I'm going to leave you with this whole D23 news, where there was so much news, especially with the parks, is we can expect one thing from Disney this year, well, the next couple of years, and that is Disney's just going to add more cranes.
Yes. Yes. There. Hold on. I'm putting my Karnak the Magnificent hat on. Hold on. There's an abundance of Disney cranes in your future.
Yes.
So, on that note, good night, everybody. Thank you for
Good night.
joining us. Thank you for your time. Thank you for making us a part of your Disney life. From all of us here at 3 Sheets to Mouse, thank you for your time, for this time, and until next time, so long for just a while. Say
That's
goodnight.
a wrap.
Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.